Everybody, it's Jeremy, and we are back with some Tiny Tina. We are pretty close to the end of the game, in theory, so we are, of course, going to pick up, instead, all of the side quests that we can find. So.
You've stopped pausing for everybody else to introduce themselves, and it throws me off now.
What, you guys bitched about it, so now I'm not gonna.
I didn't bitch about it.
There was a lot of bitching. I remember significant bitching.
There was just a comment.
There was multiple instances.
There was a side comment.
Multiple sessions. Repeated bitching.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, go find Merrick. He's got something super cool for you to do your heroic dance.
Super cool. Ooh. Alright, I gotta hit up some SDUs real quick.
I'll allow it.
You grabbed the third quest? I only saw two.
I
You
got
just opened
3.
the chest and left everything in it.
Not I.
It's all purples and blues. I didn't want it.
Well, fucking pick it up and sell it,
ejected all of it to
motherfucker.
the floor.
No, it's trash. Useless to me.
It was purples and blues, and only like one of them had an enchant on it.
Right.
I'm actually still rocking 2 pieces of gear that aren't uniques. Well, technically a ring is blue, but it's still unique in the sense that it has red text.
It was pretty normal for spells to not be legendary spells because the non-legendary spells get some better stuff typically.
Ain't seen a legendary weapon with 40% melee on it yet, and I've seen quite a few.
Though I was gonna say, have you been like actually checking all the special stuff that some of the legendary weapons do? Like, just because they're not high damage doesn't mean they might not be crazy good for you.
I haven't been like Googling in the red text. I've just been assuming the red text is the bottom modifier.
I mean, for the most part, like, that's a good thing to go off of, but usually there's like an additional thing it does. So for instance, there's like a flamethrower spell that like burns, right? And it tells you it burns and shoots like a flamethrower. Except it doesn't tell you that if you shoot someone who's on fire from that flamethrower, they explode and light someone else on fire, who then you can shoot and they explode. Like continuing the flames across other people. So like there's definitely stuff that like maybe look into and not just doesn't have a big number.
Every time I look for red text, I never find anything about it.
It's still a new game for for Fextra Life to have like a page with all the red text yet.
Yeah. I have no idea where the hell we are. I don't remember this at all.
This is the last zone that we did.
Yeah. Remember
The
the
skull,
lower
the
jaw
jaw
elevator?
that came down, and
But there is
okay, yeah, vaguely remember this.
there is apparently a fucking quest somewhere around here.
Did you
Okay.
pick up all the ones in Bright Hook?
Yeah, we did. But as soon as okay, that was definitely a graphics glitch. Whatever game. Not gonna worry about it. Things are trying to fuck with me today.
Pardon?
I said things are trying to fuck with me today. Right. Teleport to me when you are available.
Fuck are you? Oh, okay. I've done it. I've done the needful.
He's fucking done it.
Thing I need your help with.
Oh right, the Wastard.
Got a thing.
Help the Wastard win back his one true love. Necromance her. Nice.
I like
Isn't
it.
this just the one that
Nice.
we can repeat forever?
No. The one that we can repeat forever is over in the arena here.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware.
See,
You are so purple, my dude.
I had this
This is
real
purple.
special night plan. But then The Dragon Lord did that thing where he
Also,
ripped
Jake,
my soul out of my
are you
body,
talking?
and I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Sounded
I
real
look my
quiet.
best when I try to make
Your
up for it.
face is
Purple is
quiet.
so aggressive.
Here, take this soul pattern.
Your face is aggressive.
So, oh hey, we got a new pattern. Level 50 tailoring to craft.
But my girl is like super god, so
Where
I'm
did
gonna
Jeremy
need a bunch
go?
of skulls. And my necrocentric perception tells me there's
Down
a
below you
bunch
guys.
of skeletons nearby. Here, let me open up a shortcut for you.
Hi, Jay.
While you do that,
Down
My
here.
new armor
track
looks like
down
butt,
some
and I'm
files
sad
that
about
are
it.
poisonous.
Yeah.
This has gotta
You
be
do it for the
perfect if I'm
stats,
gonna
though.
make my way back into her
Yep,
good
for
graces.
now.
Or I could tell her exactly what happened to you, and she'd be in
Like, I
your
miss my
arms
more
by sundown.
roby armor.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I'll tell her. But I want to make sure she feels extra special when I show up to apologize.
I like your
Aw,
scythe.
even I can tell that's sweet. What a nice man.
I mean, Mitch
I-
was tasked with
Okay.
finding one that isn't cold damage,
Almost
but he
makes
failed
feel
me.
guilty that we
I'm
had
not gonna
to
get you
double
shit
it.
now.
Almost.
That's the last gift you're ever getting from me.
Had to. Tina, back me up.
You know, you did what you had to do.
Don't mess with the best.
We gotta pick up stuff. Need skulls.
You know, skulls are
Oh,
cool
yeah,
and
we gotta
all,
pick up
but kinda
skulls.
expected. I'm thinking
Hell
this
yeah.
skull needs a little razzle dazzle. How about arm bones? You know, drape a few off the robe like a wind chime. That's pretty goth, right?
Believe it or not, I had a goth phase. And yes, that does sound pretty goth.
Arm bones it is.
Was that Mitch's character? Because I can expect that out of Mitch's character.
It sure was.
Sure this lady is gonna be down with like skulls and bones and stuff?
Legendary.
Rich. What you want? A tree?
Bones.
Oh, legendary.
Nice.
Oh, hey, a purple.
Oh, hey, a
Nice.
bunch of greens.
That's cool.
Good for what ails ye.
I mean,
Phenomenal. Those bones are exactly
You know.
what the Necro ordered. But if we're gonna make this sick-ass robe, we
sick ass robe.
Goth girls love leather. Assuming they're not vegan. I'll need the hide of a winged beast.
What the fuck?
There are
Wait,
like
vegans
8,000 winged
also are
beasts in
against
the baddies'
Yes,
Clothing?
any animal
Wow.
product.
I never considered
Like-
that.
The idea
And-
behind it is not hurting animals.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I meant to say wyvern.
What about harvesting materials from animals that naturally pass away?
Super clear.
Yeah, girl, I get that now.
Well, like, well, here's the thing. Like,
Yeah, we
Okay,
You
to
can
put
also
it,
do-
to put it
don't
this
just-
way,
No, I've been hearing
like
rumors of
vegans won't like some of them are against using even wool, which doesn't even harm the animal that it's taken from.
See,
They're
that
also
thing does not
against-
make sense to me.
they're also against
dumbass
honey.
quick demon ball player who
Yeah,
won't
yeah,
be
yeah.
from
Honey's a
Mars.
good one. Like, oh, it hurts the bees. They don't have their honey. Get the
Why
fuck out of
did you
here.
not say so sooner?
Well, she put a restraining charm on him.
Like, I can definitely understand the not wanting to eat.
Yeah, no, I actually do not have legitimate moral arguments against that scenario. 100%. Like,
But
absolutely.
I have no problem. Like, I think that there's plenty of vegan food that's pretty good, right? Like, you give me a vegan meal, I ain't gonna complain. But
Yeah, no, if it tastes good, I don't give a shit at all.
yeah,
Like,
like I will eat vegan food. I am not a vegan.
yeah. Woo. I'm just here to eat good food. I don't care
Yeah.
what's in it.
I care.
I mean,
But why do you
I
care?
do care that that stuff is sourced ethically and handled properly, etc. But
God. Am I gonna die?
generally speaking, shit
I mean, we're all
like
gonna
not
die.
being okay with fucking honey is kind of silly.
Like, if,
What's
like,
that
fake
sound?
hamburger, tasted exactly like Amber, I would eat fake Amber all day. Wouldn't care at all.
I will say this, and I hate this. I hate people that make vegan options, but call them something that implies that it's even better than its meat counterpart.
So Beyond Beef just doesn't do it for you?
Like, bro, it's not even as good.
You know, I used to try these like super dumb pickup tricks to get ladies' attention.
Yeah, right. Like you ever had trouble getting dates, you sexy swashbuckling so-and-so?
Well, thank you, but truthfully, I was an awkward teenager once as well.
And how'd that turn out for you?
Well, on one hand, she did kick me in the nuts, but on the other hand, her friend also kicked me in the nuts.
Yeah, that tracks. You got a real kickable crotch.
Nice.
She read you like a book, baby.
There's a poetry page down there.
You there? I'm looking for a tailor.
All right, yeah, I'm Taylor.
Can you do any sewing at all, tailor?
Like, for money? I mean, yeah, I can totally make clothes, for sure. Just give me what you
I don't
got.
feel confident in this guy.
Something gnarly.
Not at all. Fuck.
Then here, take this pattern and the supplies it requires.
Right, no, for sure. Hang tight, yeah?
Hang tight, yeah.
Spread out, see? Give a skull some room.
But yeah, I absolutely didn't know.
Tina.
Hey, you didn't specify that you were looking for a clothing tailor. That's
What?
being big, baby.
Sorry, I was listening.
Stinks.
Yeah, I didn't know vegans were also. That was also like a clothing choice. That's
Not all. I should clarify. That's not all of them. Like it's like
I
a
mean,
subset of it.
it makes sense. Like I get it. Like I just never considered it.
Sure.
Okay, bye.
You have my fresh new outfit? Excellent. I've got the flowers. Come on then. Meet me at my lady love's house.
My lady love.
Valentine, Fred, other person whose name I didn't catch. Here, I got this for you.
You got us fedoras?
Lady.
Wow, Tina, you really shouldn't have.
Now you'll always have something to remember the campaign by. I got one for me too. See, look.
Oh, yes, I will definitely keep this.
Yep, for sure. Me too. Thanks, Tina.
Portrait should
You're
change.
very welcome.
Wow. Oh, they're
Feel like
definitely
you're
not
gonna
gonna wear them.
That's still very thoughtful from Tina, by the way.
I just want you guys to know that if you got me a fedora and you got one for yourself, clarifying there, I would wear it with you.
I guess we should ring the bell.
I don't like the clarifier.
All
I want to see us try and jam our heads together into a fedora.
Oh, see, I thought you were gonna take it as like a let's get Mitch a fedora and only he wears it.
I mean, I could do that too.
No, that was the clarifier.
Oh, I just assumed you were like, no, that we all need. We're not all going to fit in the same hat.
Just give me a chance. I know how to treat you right.
Hope you dress warm.
Okay, I'll just wait out here until you come to your senses.
I am here to rescue a damsel in distress, and you're doing the distressing.
You won't stand in the way of true love.
Wow.
Hey, I'm here.
Good job, guys.
We really need to.
Are we still? Are
Yes,
we all still
yes.
on intense?
I am.
Yeah.
We really need to get to the chaos so that we can see if the game does actually get challenging or not.
I think it will.
I think they just didn't balance the game for multiplayer like
This
Maybe.
at all.
adventure, what have you done?
I is what we got.
Okay, well, it'll have to do. Okay, here we go.
He actually looks pretty snazzy. It doesn't. The thing is it doesn't look like a fedora on him necessarily. It looks more like a cowboy hat.
Yeah, it looks like a cowboy hat.
I'm so sorry I missed our anniversary date, but I've got a good reason.
William Waster, Gemini Leclue. Where in the Wonderlands have you been? I was worried sick.
She is
I promise.
very goth.
That's not very goth at all.
Take off that stupid hat.
I mean, she's got like.
She literally looks like the death metal comic girl. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, it just looks like some like Day of the Dead face paint.
Well, yes.
Come on over. You've done me more than a few favors lately.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'll ever repay you. But I hope this is a start.
Hopes this is a start.
The hat.
Now, if you'll excuse me,
Hell yeah.
I gotta make things right.
Giggity.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he going into the tunnel.
Was that intended?
Melee weapon called Body Spray of the Butcher. Melee
Also, how's it
attacks
going,
against
Mox?
an enemy that has an active element status effect will double the effect of the vampirism, which is 10%. No, that's sorry, that's just bad.
All right. We head outwards. From what you gathered, the wedding is going to be fedora themed, right, Mitch? That's how it works.
Yeah, absolutely. I got fedoras for all you guys.
That's awesome. I'm ready.
Huh?
Fedoras can still
also,
be provided.
You already paid for the tuxes, but like I changed up the design when you weren't looking, and it's definitely zoot suits.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'll fucking rock a zoot suit, you kidding me? The shoulder pads and everything? Like, fuck yeah.
I feel like you forgot who's in your wedding party, because I think every single one of us
Everyone will just go with it.
Fine with this.
Who
Like,
would want to rock a zoot?
I'll
The only one
I'll
I
get
think
that
that
opportunity
might-
to personify the cartoon wolf in the zoot suit, right? That whole scenario.
There you go.
Like,
Wasn't that that's how the cat call whistle was? That's where the cat call whistle was like literally invented, right?
I don't know. IDK.
That dungeon over
The
there.
only one I can see putting up a fight is Zach.
Nah, I don't think Zach would
Aw,
put up a
you
fight.
would- I think you would rock a zoot.
Especially
Zoot
if you
suit
get one,
riot.
if you get one of the ones with he's got like a long feather in the hat or something like that, he'd be like, "Let's go."
Now it's
It's
a
a zoot
party.
suit, you know, like one of those suits like thin waist, but it's got huge pointy shoulders, and big hat. Throw back a bottle of beer.
That one's mine.
Fire!
Don't touch that loot.
You need to chill out because you're gonna like get me on the scenario where I just go listen to a bunch of like 40s and 50s musics for the next like 3 days.
And
I don't know that I want to go down that rabbit hole.
Why wouldn't you?
Because it is distracting.
Finally, that cooldown took ages.
That song is amazing, by the way. Boom.
I feel like there needs to be more spawns with 4 people.
Honestly, like everything should be brought up. Like I'm assuming I'm running the lowest life here, and I've rarely come close to even going down.
Well, so like, it
And I'm
feels
not
like
running-
the
I'm not running
HP
dark-
scaling of monsters isn't good. Like, it should scale off of the gear score of the people almost, or something. I don't know, because like, solo, I kill things perfectly fine, but it takes a little bit more work than it takes in 4-person. It's weird. Like, bosses definitely take quite a bit longer solo. Can someone grab me? I'm crawling over here.
Jeez. Oh shit. Oh god.
Did you fam?
I was helping.
That looked like help. All right.
Also, I think it's absolutely insanity that you don't get all the equipment slots for your character till post game. Like, who fucking
is it
signed off
post-game?
on that?
Is it post game?
I mean,
yeah,
Jay,
like
you don't
you
need
don't unlock
any more
your
stats.
second ring until after post game. It's weird.
Oh,
Hey,
really?
I went down.
Yeah.
You clearly don't need any more stats, Jay. I don't know why you're complaining about it.
That's alright.
Weren't you
boss-
just complaining about how easy the game is?
Yeah, but still, like, I mean, like, what I still would argue is that you should give me the slot because I like min-maxing, but they should also boost the difficulty as well.
Or they could just eliminate the slot.
I totally get where Jay's coming from. I would like to have everything unlocked.
I know.
It's the same thing where Jeremy was asking her about in the D&D channel in the Distant Horizon Discord. Where like, do you want to do other stuff after hitting 20? Yeah, absolutely. I want to hit max prior to completion of the game so that I can enjoy that like that full build.
For clarity, that's not necessarily even like a 20 comment. It's like if the campaign is supposed to go to like 4 or 5, do you want to finish the campaign and level to 5, or do you want to level to 5, do a couple things in the campaign, and then finish? You know,
I personally like getting to the build max or like the option of build max prior to endgame.
Wind's picking up.
And
Like,
so
It depends on the game for me. In a game like this, yeah, I want to hit 40 before the end of the game, but I also want to be able to put gear in all the slots available.
Well, yeah. So I think
staring
we
at this slot the entire game.
I think we all agree with that concept, Jay. So that's not being debated at all, right? Like that's just a given, and now we're talking about something more specific, basically.
I apologize.
No, I wasn't criticizing you over it. I was just saying.
Too late.
Also, for clarity,
I just see him pounding that liter of rum.
the question on that was like, how much is a good balance, right? Like, you know, how much of the extra how much of the post max level should a game be? You know?
So here's the thing. Like it's if we're gonna do like percentages, give me like 5% of the game after I hit max.
Only?
Because like I don't need. That's it. Like that's all I need. Because like I don't. If a game is 40 hours, right? I don't need 10 of those 40 hours to be max level.
Okay.
Yeah, a quarter of the content.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So like 5, maybe 10.
A quarter
10
of the
feels-
content is 25%. That's a big difference.
That's what he's saying.
Huh?
If
Like,
it's a
I'm saying I don't
40-hour...
need that.
No, he said 5%, not 25%.
Well, he said 40-hour campaign and then 10 hours, which is 25%.
Yeah,
He
you
said
are
he
both
doesn't
right,
need-
but
yeah.
you're like I think you're combining your brain.
He said he doesn't need 10 hours.
Yes, I do not need 25% of the campaign to be max level.
Yes.
I like a 5. I'll say it upwards of 10. 5 to 10% feels pretty good to me. It's like, you know, you work towards it, you achieved it, you get to experience it and have fun with it, and then you're good.
I think it's very much in like a situation though, like so that type of scenario makes sense to me in like a 40-hour game, right? But what about in like a tabletop RPG? So take Dungeon of the Mad Mage for example. You guys already have like several hundred hours in that game, right? Like 300 to 400 hours in that game.
Yeah.
How
100 hours.
How
Big
long?
difference.
How many hundreds of hours are like if you guys were to hit 20, if that's the intended like kind of concept, how long after that is too long, you know?
Yeah, so like let's say I don't know what we're gonna end up at, probably at like 400 episodes before we finish the campaign. But like that's a little high, but whatever. Let's just use that as a number, right? At our current pace, let's say we finish the campaign in 400 episodes.
Sure.
100 episodes of post-20 content, too much. But like 20, 30, like a good solid arc of being 20, I think that sounds fun.
I also think it depends on whether or not there are post max level situations, right? Like if you hit level 20 and that's it, that's all that you scale, then that's one thing. But if you hit level 20 or whatever the theoretical max level is, and then there are other ways to scale, other things to do, other like blessings to gain, or artifact gear that is being forged or conquered, or what have you. Like if there are other progression paths that can elongate the overall effect,
as long as
basically.
The story is progressing. Yes, that's the big thing for me.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't want to just stagnate and just be playing for the sake of playing.
Oh yeah,
right.
I agree 100%. I like y'all's fucking, like, I like that Jake is basically just this blue knight on the fucking world map.
It's purple, Jeremy. Get it fucking right.
That looks pretty blue, but okay.
It is a very blue purple.
It's violet. You're turning violet.
It's actually indigo. Get it right?
Okay, fair enough.
Indigo. Oh, what's this? Something's blinking.
Poetry page wafts upon the wind.
Ooh, nice.
Oh.
Page of poetry.
I'm gonna grab a beverage. I'll be right back.
For the rest of that poem, simply walk your little leggy legs to the tavern and Bright Hook.
What the fuck?
Which guy got?
I just sat in a distance and watched the skeleton walk towards Mitch.
You could have prevented this.
I could have. Maybe. There was a chance that I wouldn't have gotten there in time.
Oh, that is a thing of beauty.
That's an ignited
Who
barrel.
drops that scythe, by the way, Jake?
What?
Who drops that scythe?
I have done 0 investigation. I kind of figured it was the last time we were playing, so...
Jay, do you have the big spreadsheet that has all of the information on it? Is that what you've been using?
I am a fucking skeleton. I do think it's worth also mentioning that, like, several hundreds of hours of a D&D campaign is equal to, like, maybe 20, maybe in, like, a TRPG.
20 hours?
Yeah, like I would say that, like, all the time that we have spent collectively in Dungeon of the Mad Mage is maybe like half of, like, I don't know what Baldur's Gate 3 is eventually going to be.
I think you're a little lowballing it.
Sure.
Maybe.
I imagine how we play the game, I imagine Baldur's Gate will probably be like 120 hour.
Maybe.
Bro, I don't know. Like, I played through like that one chapter of the demo or the early access, and
like the first run.
That's like 30, 40 hours already. Like,
yeah, it took me a long ass time.
But there's only going to be, I think, 4 chapters.
But, like, after playing through, like, Wrath of the Righteous and stuff like that, man, turn-based RPGs are just such a time sink now.
I mean, yeah. When we play, like, D&D, a good portion of the time sink is the turn-based combat.
Well, and
completely depending on how many
crazy.
Participants.
And I don't remember if I told you this, Jeremy, but, like, if you remember the tavern battle in Wrath of the Righteous, So I originally played it on turn-based several times, and I spent like an hour, 2 hours per attempt because I was trying to like get a very specific way that it went, and so I was going through several attempts of like several hours, and then I like just ran through it with not turn-based, and I finished the entire fight within 10 minutes.
Yeah, it is
just like, God damn it!
It is ridiculously faster to just have it be on active. Absolutely.
Yep.
But it's just, it doesn't feel the same to me. It doesn't feel
it feels
like
boring. It feels
doesn't
boring because like literally everything runs at each other and hits. Like
and it doesn't feel like a tabletop game. Like that's one of the things that I love about Pathfinder is it feels like it feels like a TTRPG. It feels like a like playing a game of D&D, or more specifically playing a game of Pathfinder, and that is fun to me. But you know, and it's really weird because actually, like Pillars of Eternity, for example, I don't really like playing Pillars of Eternity on turn-based because it doesn't feel right. Because to me,
turn-based on Pillars of Eternity would give Wrath of the Righteous a run for its money.
Yeah, absolutely. But Pillars of Eternity feels like it's supposed to be done active, you know?
Well, because there's like, so Pathfinder is so in the weeds with its rules that it benefits from taking your time and doing that like turn-based combat. Sure. Whereas Pillars of Eternity has a lot going on as well, but it's a little bit lends itself a little bit more to that speed.
Well, here's the other big thing about Pillars of Eternity 2 specifically. The AI system, the like scripting in that game is so fucking good that you can just turn it on and actually they'll do shit. They will actually do shit. Whereas that doesn't really happen in Pathfinder. If you want shit done, if you want shit done in Pathfinder, you have to pause, pick this skill, do this thing. Pause, pick this skill, do this thing. Pause, rinse and repeat, right? Like, how the fuck do we kill this thing? Did we fuck something up?
Punch it. Punch it better.
Oh, he mad.
Oh, you have to actually touch it with your body and fight it.
I have touched it multiple times and it has done
nothing.
Just
punch it so many times, guys.
Okay.
I don't think so.
It saw Mitch and got angry.
Yeah, punch it so many times.
Understandable. Well, we did it. So, like, when we unlock Chaos Run, we're just going directly into Chaos Run 35, right?
However high they will let us in, basically.
You need a mint.
Yes.
Yeah, for once, Mitch, I am actually willing to try whatever the hardest thing they will allow us to try. At least out of the gate, to see, you know, maybe there's some sort of challenge to things.
Stipulation
you gotta find your wall. You gotta find where that wall is first.
Yeah, no, don't
right there,
don't say that like that. Don't say that like, oh, I'm just looking for the wall. That's bullshit, because you will establish a wall and then you'll just do.
Yeah, I'll find the wall and then I gotta try and climb it.
No.
After I find the wall, I gotta get over the wall.
Absolutely not. No.
You
Okay,
bash your head into the wall until you get disinterested.
It's one thing.
No,
if
I'll bash my head until I beat it and then get disinterested.
It's one thing if the wall is beaten by getting good, right? Like, because there are scenarios where it's just you just got to get good to get over the wall.
There are
right.
There are statistical
but the thing that annoys me is when we're like, oh, we slammed our head 2 or 3 times, and you're like, let's go again, and we're like, no, we could go farm a little bit of gear or get like a few more levels, and this would be easier, you asshole.
Okay, I will accept that sometimes I think the getting good could happen prior to the getting gear.
Absolutely.
I will accept that. Sometimes I think getting good will make up. That hit you. Fuck you, Jake.
I tried to save you because you were on your little soapbox. Oh,
Nice.
God. That's what you do for trying to be nice, motherfucker.
Well, you have to be nice and
unpunished.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be either then. I'm fine with it.
If I can't beat one, I'll be none.
Well.
Where are you going?
I wonder if the base game has a raid boss.
I assume so.
I actually kind of doubt
I
it.
feel like I feel like I've heard of like at least like 2, but I could be wrong.
So, Mitch, I found a level 40 of this cannonball rocket launcher in a vendor.
Is it fun?
5,569 damage.
Nice. I really, and if you guys find one, I would love it, but I don't need it because it's probably not great for my build. There's a gun called manual transmission, and it's one of the skulldugger guns, so it overheats as you shoot.
Yeah.
Except as you shoot, you can shift its firing mode to switch it to the lower chamber, and you shift back and forth between the chambers, and it will never overheat.
As long as you're careful.
As long as you're shifting that manual transmission.
You gotta kill.
I really want one.
Like shit.
Yeah. You guys use really specific shields. You're the melee boys, right?
Yes.
I think both of them are cursed witting.
Okay, so
Nope.
then never mind.
I'm Mace Wardu.
Okay, so you guys
You want
are
a cursed wit? I have
you're using
2.
specific ones that you're.
I'm using a cursed wit right now.
Wardu's better for me than
but it's like an unmodified cursed wit. It doesn't have anything on it, not like an enchant.
I'll check mine to see if I've got any enchants on it, but I don't think I do.
I'm not super worried about it. The cursed wit is just for its like red text is what I'm using it for, anyways. Like if it has an enchant on it, sure, sweet. I'm down.
You should be scared.
The one I have is like movement speed on ward depletion. All right.
Excellent. My cream is complete. I
My
shall
cream.
Giggity.
no
Giggity.
alchemist has ever done before.
Look how 3 of us immediately like registered all, and it was like,
Someone's being chased by a snake. Jay, turn around! Jay, turn around!
My God.
I got you, boo.
I just look. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what?
I had an itchy knee.
Hey, Jay, I made cream.
Don't say that ever again.
I just saved Mitch's life. Ooh.
I just saved Mitch's life too.
Cash rules everything around me.
Oh, that's one lucky die. Getting lucky.
Nice.
Numbers, go!
Oh, really?
What was his name? Oh, like Durandal, the Headless Knight.
Yeah, Dardanus.
Are any of you guys like
or Barbados? Yeah.
rap fans? Like you enjoy listening to rap?
I mean, I like good rap. Yeah, absolutely.
That's not my bag. I have like my niche things, but
like I'm generally not, but like I actually really like Kendrick Lamar. And he just put out a new album really recently. And it is thick. Like it is like he's talking about a lot of shit and it's hard for me to follow.
I must confess.
There's more poem where that came from. Just talk to the poet in the Breakfast Tavern. That dungeon over there may have.
Oh hey,
shit! Oh god, help! Fuck.
No, I was just about to activate it. No.
It was like as I started to take a drink, it started running at me. I'm like, no.
Shit, help.
I can't believe you've done this again. Yet again.
It was not me last time, so I don't want to hear it.
I mean, you did do it when you walked away and one fucking ran into you.
I told you guys I was walking away. That was on you at that point.
It was already chasing you at that point.
You were put on call and you didn't answer the phone.
No, I was way too far away, and I laughed as soon as I saw it. was like, well, I'm not gonna get there, so I'm just gonna stand here and watch.
So the amount of stats you can actually get from mythical rank is, depending on what you stack, is actually pretty good shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the Archmage myth rank is really good for me. Like almost everything in that I want.
Yeah.
Is that the
But,
first
I mean,
one?
it's also like a substantial
top right?
amount.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like top left. Like everything out of top, almost everything out of top left. I'm like, why can't I just
Bottom
have
right.
all of this?
Me and Jake are bottom right.
Bottom right, I don't know how far you've gotten into it, but there's
it.
a dark magic damage one, so make sure you get that too, Jeremy.
I mean, I like Druid too.
Dark magic is good for me, but
Well,
it's
great,
better for
'cause
me to just
3
have
of
the
them
crit damage to go
have things
straight.
that I'm actively
fair.
using. Top
See,
left has.
I'm pretty heavy into dark magic damage now.
Yeah, so like after
How do
I
you
get
ever
just
die?
the straight strength, then
How
dark
can
magic
you
is
ever
next on the
fucking
list.
die if you're doing dark?
Barrels.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, he ain't wrong.
It burns. I need a drink.
Please tell me you got rum up your nose.
I think it might even got a little bit up my navel cavity a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
Gotta clean out them sinuses.
Clearing those sinuses up real good.
No, it's not cleaning. It's sterilizing them.
In before, that's actually what chaos mode is it just doubles and then triples and then quadruples the amount of barrels in the game.
Oh my god, I'll kill
You just walk
myself.
into an area and
Literally,
there's just, like
several
pyramids
times.
of barrels.
Yeah.
A shrine piece sits nearby.
There's not even more.
Oh, sweet. Look, a shrine
What the
piece.
fuck was teleporting
How'd that
us?
get there?
It's to a shrine piece, if you will
So I
allow
don't know
it.
if I told you guys, and Jay and Jeremy, you don't know Will, but I talked with Will yesterday or the other day. Hopped on a Zoom call with him. He was at work. He's like at one of the Space Command locations.
Yep.
And hops on a Zoom meeting with me.
Nice. How's he
And
doing?
so he's doing good. But he was telling me, so like, unfortunately, we found out that he can't make the bachelor party.
Yep.
And so we were chatting, and he's like, yeah, so like they changed like their something about like they have like a regular schedule. They do this like fuck, now I can't remember the term he used, but it was some sort of like almost like a roll call type thing for the reserves, and it happens like the first weekend of every month. Well, they changed it, and so now he can't make it to the bachelor party because it's the second weekend, and it hasn't changed in like 3 years. And so like he was real pissed about it, and he told me, he's like, yeah, so I can't make your bachelor party, but I'm quitting the reserves.
Yep. Yeah, he mentioned that to me too.
Because fuck them.
Yep.
The consolation prize. Fuck these guys.
Yeah, he told me he was trying to get a whole different job so he could still make it.
Yeah.
God.
But like I told him, like, dude, really, it's okay. Like, I'd love to have you here, but like, I get it.
And
Life
we're
happens.
still gonna have fun at the wedding. So
Yes.
What is that you see? Why?
So
Hey, happy Friday to you too. Glad
I told him,
Really?
I
I told him
can't
we'll
wait
send him
to
a bunch
like
of
fall
pictures
asleep and
stuff.
wake up and it's Monday again.
Yes.
Fair.
Man, that is so depressing. Like that life becomes living for the weekends.
Which means you're close to the eye.
Everybody's living for the weekend. It's working for the weekend, but
This shrine
I mean, I guess that's still just as depressing.
the patron god of
It's like super sad. Like think
Man,
about
that
that.
song
Like
came out in the 80s.
like 5/7 of your life you're waiting for like something else to arrive.
That was our last bottle cap, boys.
Last bottle cap. Oh man.
We gotta find ways to enjoy our weekdays more, guys.
The weekend.
I enjoy most of my weekdays a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Just not the
I
day
actually do
portion
too.
of it. Just not the work part of it.
Last weekend, me and Rachel
Someone
watched Moon
summoned
Knight.
something. Where is it?
Moon Knight was actually really good, by the way.
Yeah, did you like it?
I really liked Moon Knight.
I don't know. What was it?
Okay, we
Episode
got
5
freaking
was,
summoned away from where we were.
I thought it was really fun. Rachel didn't get as into it as I did, but
episode 5 was real.
I will throw this out there. I thought it was absolutely amazing how spoilers if you don't know, the person who plays Moon Knight has DID. How at the beginning you saw it from the perspective of you only followed this one personality, and when he loses control or he gives up control,
he said no spoils. He said no spoils. Cut.
You did say no spoils.
I cut.
Cut.
I punched it.
You didn't do shit. I tried to punch
it.
it.
No. I'm watching.
On my screen, you stood there like this.
Yes, I was out in the Jeremy stream. I was in the punch animation was there.
You just punched in the wrong direction.
No, it was the right direction. I was
Apparently
soft.
it wasn't.
It's there. It's there. You can clip it.
I'm not sure how he saw his punch animation when I was in my in my
you were
menu.
In your map, but before it closed your map, and you could see me.
You got some sharp eyes, boy.
Spoilers. Nixie and Mox, you guys say no spoilers, but every time I ask you about shows or anything or movies, you're like, we don't have time to watch those. So I don't know if we can.
It doesn't mean that they don't. It doesn't mean that they're not interested in watching them.
I still think it's respect spoilers.
Yeah, but they're gonna forget the spoiler anyways in 10 years when the kids are finally out of the house.
when the kids have all graduated and they finally get to watch shows.
They actually can have a life.
It's gonna be a long time from now.
At least 10 years.
I was about 10?
I forget how old the youngest is.
Yeah, how old is your youngest? Finn's like under a year? I don't remember now. A year? 2? Somewhere?
7.
One of those? Maybe?
Almost 2, okay.
Look at the Cheeto plains.
I mean, once they're like 10, you can put them to bed and spend an hour or 2 watching a show or movies.
16 years, yo.
It's one of the buns.
You mean one of those things my anaconda doesn't want unless you have those?
Doesn't want none.
It's one of the buns, the rocket buns.
Sometimes I'm like halfway through a joke and I'm like, why the fuck did I start this? But I'm like,
summon a skeleton.
I have to finish it.
Don't worry, Jay, I feel that.
2 in July.
Ooh.
Also, I think I would do the same, Nixie. Like, if it came down to watching stuff or playing games, like
games,
I'd probably pick games.
Yeah,
I
feel you.
Games.
Also, I feel more wine indeed. More wine. More wine.
I escape more easily through Vidya than I do through shows.
For me, it's less about escape, but it's more about like doing stuff. Like, if I was only watching stuff, I just get bored.
I also would have Nixie's problem. Like, if all I was doing is watching something, I would just fall asleep.
Sorry, I thought I'd kill that guy. Okay.
Like,
I like how we all stopped shooting it to try and res him so he gets the kill and reses himself.
Tomato's motto. It's still. End result is he doesn't die.
But I wanted.
I'm not dead. Death avoid.
Tomato, other tomato.
This is actually kind of a cool encounter area. I like this.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen this one before.
Like this little like
This actually kind of reminds me of.
Pueblo the right word? I don't even know.
I'm down.
I don't see. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna kill that fucking Cyclops.
The weekend.
So I actually really like on these Cyclopses, one, I just like their design, because it's actually like a big-ass eye. But two, if you have noticed, when you kill them, the big-ass eye floats up and has like
and then
the
starts
stalk,
fucking laser beaming
the
you.
stem of
That's
the
pretty cool.
eye.
Yep.
Like, that's fucking neat.
Oh,
it's neato.
Jeremy, I was going to ask you, how's the Hydra been working out for you?
What
do you want... So, like, has the Hydra spell been working well?
Yeah.
Off the melee? Oh.
Do you want a chess piece that periodically brings all your hydras you've made closer to you?
That is one of the 3 preferred build chest pieces. Yes.
I have like 3 of them, but I don't remember if any of them are like super good for your build. Like they're obviously Graveborn, but like I don't know if they're like Graveborn forward.
Gotcha.
So I got a live wire.
What? Hold up. What?
I got a live wire, and I remember that being big for several builds.
It is the best gun in Wonderlands.
Cool. All right. Well, you want to take a peek?
So
I'll take a look and see what it does.
It's light. I think it's always light.
You figured this would be a V Rising stream? I haven't really looked into V Rising at all yet, so I have no idea.
Zach and I were playing it a little bit today. It's actually really fun.
Rising.
And I will say it feels relatively polished for an early access game. Like there's decent content. Like the map's really big. There's a good amount of crafting, cool stuff to do. The fights feel fun. So I so far recommend.
PvP.
The Kings of Game Thrashing? What? Game thrashing. Yeah, I need a definition here. I feel like that could go in several different directions.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm super lax. I'm nice on games compared to most
so that's
of
what
you
I'm saying.
guys.
Oh, you pick up and put. So that's what I was assuming where it was going from. Because I think
gotcha.
you've made that comment, and Zach has made that comment before, right? Like the idea that we just go through fucking games like real fast.
Yeah. Like unless a game has something for me to like. So Borderlands games, for instance, chaos runs, like things to drive me further past the end content. Unless it's got something like that, it's pretty rare that I stick to a game.
Yeah. Well,
or unless it's PvP. If it's PvP, PvP is how you win me over. Because, like, every match is different, right?
But you mean like arena PvP, not like an ARC server that has a PvP element. Or a vampirizing
not necessarily.
PvP
Like, I feel like something like that could probably draw me in.
But it's for a limited time comparatively, though.
But, like, the problem with that kind of scenario, though, is that, like, some of that PvP is related to, like, if I'm offline and my whole base gets destroyed, no, I'm fucking done.
Well, and V Rising and ARC has it too. There's like they do a window where PvP is live or whatever you would call it.
That's actually a pretty neat idea, like a decent mechanic. Like especially if they have like US servers versus Asia Pacific servers and stuff like that. So like the time windows kind of link up with people when they're done with work and stuff. But like still, like that kind of stuff's really hard to deal with when you have like other stuff going on. Yeah. Like I've reached that point where life is not video games anymore. I have to do other stuff.
No,
Lily, you're a big card game person, right?
You've done so well, hero.
Marvel Snap is in early access.
Nice.
It's a Marvel-centric game, but instead of it being like decks of 60 cards or 100 cards or whatever, it's a deck of 12 cards. It's 3-minute instances. Looks like it could be fun, and it seems pretty well polished. Currently, it's going into a beta for Android only, but will be coming out on PC whenever they release.
Smell it? Coming from that dungeon?
Oh God.
That's a shrine piece.
Nice.
Among Us? Oh no.
Actually, like, yeah, no, I think it'd be kind of fun to go back to. It's been a while since I've played it, and like, if we have like a big party.
There's one person we cannot tell.
Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
She will immediately accuse me, regardless of the situation.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
How would you feel about playing Among Us with a big group? She just lit up.
You're fucking done.
It's always Mitch.
Every single time we play with Rachel, she accuses me within 0.5 milliseconds of the round.
Well,
Doesn't matter what's happened. I could be following her around, completely safe, doing nothing. It's me.
Because you're a shady piece of shit.
Uh-huh. Except literally every time. Of the 50 times we've played Among Us, I have been the fucking killer twice.
Don't be so shady.
You follow me around. It's suspicious.
Rachel,
I'm innocent.
Rachel, have you looked at Duck Duck Goose? Or the Goose Game or whatever it's called?
No.
So it's Among Us, but it's got an expanded roles.
Sweet, look, shrine piece. How'd that get there? Did a little
I mean,
That I think you might get more interest in than at least base Among Us.
Hey, one shrine piece coming out, piping hot.
you know how hard it is to get everyone to play, though.
I swear to God, if we could just get on Gary's mod and start playing some of the games in that.
I would love to play Prop Hunt. I want to play Prop Hunt
is so good.
bad.
Prop Hunt, TTT, Murder, all that shit. Amazing.
Also, yes, I will play TTT all day.
Yeah.
We're gonna order VR headsets for everybody. We're just gonna...
I mean, TTT is also just a Gary's mod game. Like,
I know, but like it was really fun in VR.
Oh yeah, it was great in VR.
Now twerk.
Rachel, this is about a liter of rum just in a big ass bottle. So PTT is Traders in Terrorist Town. It is a game where everybody has the ability to kill everybody else, but there's basically traitors and innocents, and nobody knows who's on whose team except all the traitors, right? And there's usually a lot fewer traitors than innocents, but there's
it actually has a pretty similar like number of players to Among Us, where like you have like two killers once you reach a certain stat, like two terrorists.
It's basically Among Us, but everyone has guns.
Yep, and then also there is one person who is a detective, and so the
is this that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
not playing that
Yep.
with Mitch. I'm not
Come on, I'll play
Look,
it with
Jay has been he has received the iron hand of Mitch, and he still wants to play.
Still a good time.
Yeah,
Even if
because
this is a
Jay
goddamn
is a
tyrant.
glutton for punishment. We know this.
I'm a dictator. I'll accept that.
You are? Yes.
But yeah, basically, so like there's terrorists, there's innocents, and there's one detective. The detective has a skill or like an item, or it depends on what you're playing in, right?
Depends on the version and the platform.
They have a thing that can identify if someone is innocent or a terrorist, but usually only a limited number of charges. And so like they can kind of build a posse of like, I know these people are innocent, and it like factions evolve.
Oh, TTT is great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I think it's one of the things that is missing from Among Us. It's that nobody has a way to defend themselves in Among Us.
It's like you just get to die.
Right, but at least in TTT, you have
if
the
someone's
ability,
sketchy, I shoot them.
Yeah, you have the ability to make the decision to either defend yourself or make a call and kill someone. Now you do that and you draw the ire of your peers, because if it turns out that person is innocent, it looks really fucking suspicious that you just killed an innocent, right?
Yep.
So I think people having the ability to kill, regardless if you're the bad guy or not, adds a big layer that Among Us never will have.
It does, but at the same time, it also scales it in a different way, and it allows for a lot more griefing.
Yes,
oh, sure,
yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
So So
Like,
it's like there are pros
people.
and cons to it. Like there are absolutely really cool good things about it, but there are also things where it's like, okay, well that can also just make it unplayable or really shitty for certain
I like
people.
how someone mentioned Among Us, and Rachel immediately ran down the hall to her computer, opened up a browser, came to the stream, got to the chat, and was like, oh, wait.
I am way more likely to play the Goose version of Among Us, just because of the roles that add variety. Like, Mitch, you were talking about defending yourself. There's one role where, I think it was called the Vigilante, where every round you have the ability to kill someone, but if you do not kill one of the villains, you die.
Yeah, see, that kind of stuff is cool. Like that's almost like Ultimate Werewolf, where you have like the roles and like the
this is more
that kind of
true
stuff.
to that.
I
Jay,
love like just
what'd you
like
do?
add a bunch of different like roles that have like these special mechanics. That's really cool. Also, Nixie, you would be a wonderful member of my posse as we roll around killing everyone because we don't trust anyone.
Don't feed him.
See, my favorite part of this is
really do not feed him.
Lily would be the bad person and just stringing you along. Totally
No, that's
see it.
fine. At that point, I accept death because she helped me bring everyone else down. At that point, by the rule of the strong, she gets to win.
So later versions of TTT or Murder are a lot like Werewolf, where there are several roles and like additional like alternative rules and whatnot. But I mean, also, I mean, yeah, that's really cool and all, but I do want to at least take a second to talk about Prop Hunt and how everybody should be like super pumped to play some fucking Prop Hunt.
There's a new Prop Hunt mode for some Call of Duty thing. I don't remember what it was, but like there's a new version of it that actually looks really fun.
So, all right, this
it
is
it might be Warzone. Like Warzone might have a Prop Hunt mode, which is a free Call of Duty game, but.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm assuming, like, there's literally no person that's walking this earth that doesn't own a copy of Gary's Mod, right? It never was free, but I mean, like...
I don't have it.
What?
I've never played it, yeah.
But, alright. Well, regardless, Prop Hunt in essence is, basically, it's hide and seek, right? But the hiders don't, like, find a hole to hide in and crouch and hope for the best. They have the option in a dynamic environment with a bunch of like interactive items. Think of like Half-Life, how they have barrels and boxes and TVs and
well, I mean, it's literally Gary's Mod is literally built from like Half-Life stuff, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say that I thought that was familiar. Like it was built off of the Half-Life engine.
Yeah. So you can choose an item in the environment, and you transform into that item, and then you scoot around and try to blend into the environment.
Or you don't scoot and try to blend.
Yeah, you find somewhere to blend in, and the hunters have like a limited amount of like they have like I guess Gary's Mod is probably the best example, is they have so much HP, and if they hit something and it's not a player, they take a little bit of HP damage, and they got to try to find you before they run out of life. But even if they hit you, depending on the size of the object you are, determines how much HP you have. So if you hide as a bigger item, you have a lot of HP and can get away. But if you hide as something easier to hide as, you have a lot less HP. You can try to scamper off, so you'd be like this like street cone, just being like.
I just need a bag of containers.
And it's a great time.
Yeah, Mox, I think you're correct.
I'm gonna grab a beverage. Cover me.
Fun little story. I play with a group of people, and we had a private server, and I had access to that private server. And what I would do, one thing you could do in the game was taunt, right? And would just basically play an audio file that was direction based. Like the closer you were, the louder it would be, right? So we would make a bunch of like. I would make a bunch of audio files that were like memes or related to our community in some way or another. And the funny thing is when you taunt, it's random. But I put a taunt in there that was like 2 minutes long out of the like dozens that we had, right? So if you hit that taunt button, there's a chance that you might trigger a taunt that was going to last a very long time. So, like, if someone taunted, it was always like a, oh, is that the long one? No, all right.
Was the long one like actual audio the entire time, or was it just like silence?
The long taunt was the entirety of Home 3.
It would have been funny. So you should have had like a long taunt that was audio the entire time, or you should have had a long taunt that was like almost like 2 minutes of nothing, but just like one soundbite suck in it somewhere, right? You know,
just randomly. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna make a noise at some point. I don't know when.
Because I'm assuming the audio file when it starts playing, you can't you don't overwrite it, right? It keeps going.
No, it's an MP3 and it plays until complete.
Exactly. So like if you catch that one silent one, it's just silence for the duration of it, and you're like, wait, fuck, we can't get it.
Yeah. No. I mean that was a great time, and there was a lot of Garry's Mod games. There was a lot of really unique games. There was like, no one's gonna get this, but there was a game mode based off of Mother 3 for the GBA called Chimera Hunt, where you played as the titular like pig mask characters trying to turn off a chimera that had a button on its back. And but the chimera could one-shot anybody. So it was actually really creepy, way more creepy than it was intended to be. But it was also like, it was like maps from Mother 3, which were like lovingly recreated in 3D, because again, this was a GBA game, right? Also, somebody recreated like Bomberman in Garry's Mod.
I remember Bomberman in Garry's Mod, actually.
It was like melon something.
Yeah.
And it was such a good recreation.
I think there was actually like a bit of a time where like you and Mayokai and a good portion of the group played a fair amount of that.
Ix and Faye, we were really into Bomberman.
Bummerman. 15 bucks on sale isn't bad. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I would have to look into it. What it would take to get a private server up and running, but I think that Garry's Mod would always be a constant and reliable source of a good time if we all like decide one night.
I know it was a lot of fun to play in the past. My only fear is that it might not hold up in the future, or in the present.
I still play
NES
games.
not Gmod. Oh, the Midnight Ghost Hunt, is that what you're talking about? 15 bucks on sale.
Midnight Ghost Hunt.
Gotcha.
$20 off right now. Early access.
Midnight Ghost Hunt, you say?
Well, Jay doesn't buy early access games, so he's
You
out.
buy early access games, it just depends. There are some early access games that do early access amazingly. There's games like Dead Cells that before it ever hit 1.1 was a complete experience before it ever hit full release, and that is perfect.
Good reviews, good content. Jay will buy early access.
Look, it can be a complete experience, Jay. The experience just might be a shit one.
That's also true too. I'm just saying, I have bought EA in the past.
Oh, don't say that.
Not early access.
I'm aware of what you meant.
The trigger word.
So,
for those who don't know,
so
Jay hates Electronic Arts.
So it's literally just
generally rightly so.
The bag of containing.
Yes. Oh, absolutely, generally rightly so.
Just seeing people running around as props. There's just something funny about that. By the way, guys, like, if anybody has like any interest in Prop Hunt at all, absolutely needs to play Prey. which was free at one point on Epic. If it
on that game.
Like Prey is such a good single player
Borderlands
experience.
3 or something like that free right now?
Yeah, Borderlands 3 is the free one.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 just became free, which definitely recommend picking up if anyone has not played it.
I've got to know like what deal Sweeney is giving these guys. Be like, hey, we'll do this if you make your game free for a week.
Like
it's got to be juicy.
It's got to be juicy.
Especially if you're doing shit like Prey and BL3. Shit.
But
bro.
I mean, at the same time, though, a lot of those games have been out for a while, right?
Prey...
So like, it's
oh God, no!
it's
sorry.
I can't believe you've done this.
It's a cheaper sell. It's a cheaper sell to get people on their platform. Like, it's a good business model. It really is. But I don't know that it's as expensive as you guys think it might be.
Oh well, I mean, I bought Prey when it was AAA.
Yeah, how many people bought Borderlands 3?
Yeah,
I mean,
but at the same time, how long have those games been out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many sales are happening otherwise of them?
Sure. I mean, that's fair. And I guess looking at this point, right, it's people that weren't going to buy Prey or weren't going to play Borderlands 3 would play it for free, and maybe some of those people will pick up some DLC because both those games do have DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also, you know, it's just sometimes, like, I don't think for the devs, right, it really matters past a certain point. They're probably, like, whatever Epic is willing to pay them past a certain point is probably like, oh yeah, sure, great, we'll take it. You know? Because, like, I don't imagine these sales for Borderlands 3, for example, I don't imagine that's, like, how many new sales do you think are happening for Borderlands 3 in a week? You know? Like,
no idea.
I can't imagine it's in the thousands, right? Like, it's maybe at this point a couple hundred or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think you're right. Absolutely.
Right? Like, at most. And if you offer it free for a week, especially like a multiplayer game or something like that, right? Then you could potentially net people who pick it up free for a week, and then they're like, hey,
I'm sorry, wait a minute.
Friend of mine, I picked this up free for last week, you know?
Can the items in Midnight Ghost Hunt fight back?
Ooh.
That'd be as a lamp, you bonk someone on the head, and
like you get found out, and you can actually like go on the offensive.
That's fun.
Because normally you get found out, your only hope is to like Zoidberg away and be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
After 4 minutes, it goes to combat mode.
The exact translation is still unclear.
Oh, that actually sounds really fun. I would play this. I would definitely give this a try.
The fuck is combat mode?
It's where the props attack.
Did we turn on the other shrine?
I don't know.
A white one we turned on.
We did. Okay.
I'm going through this like leader of Rum, and at this point, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I just shoot shit.
Yeah, Jay has
I started
mission
off on
accomplished.
Scotch tonight, and it kind of like started kicking in quicker than normal. I'd play this weekend. I don't have much going on, so. Rachel's heading to a wedding tomorrow.
Are you coming out for Nick's thing?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a great idea to do the bar hopping as we're getting closer to the wedding.
Still love you though.
I'm hoping he changes locations, but we'll see.
Like, if it was somewhere outside and like...
Well, he was originally talking Tanners.
Easy.
But...
Yeah,
Bitch,
but it was like somewhere outside, easy, breezy, beautiful. What's that?
So, did you want to try out this live wire?
I'll check it out. Sure. Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I was afraid of that. Like,
I just canceled.
Do not move. I'm going to drop this weapon.
It's literally just a matter of saying.
Do not move. I'm going to drop this weapon.
Also, you realize if someone else initiates travel and you don't need to travel, you can cancel it, right?
His reflexes are limited at the moment.
That's fair, I suppose.
Okay, you may now move.
Press the button.
I really like that shooting mechanic. I like this.
The like
laser
other enemies.
Yeah.
And apparently, what you're supposed to like melee to like something after.
I don't know. Is that Santa?
Hold on. I actually pulled it up and was reading it. Livewire. Always Shock has a high chance to connect lightning beams with enemies that can chain to other enemies. Every other melee strike with the Livewire equip deals lightning melee damage to the target for 1 second.
It'd probably help if things were actually ever close to each other.
Yeah, which is the density is so low.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, there needs to be like way more enemies on the map when there's 4 people.
It's like
Maybe we're just too used to playing ARPGs where it's just like.
Yeah, probably.
I was actually gonna complain and say that, Jay. I was like, it's like I'm leveling in PoE again, and I'm like, God, I just want to get to fucking maps so there's more fucking density. Like,
well, unfortunately, it
I definitely
seems
feel
that
that.
PoE is not doing so hot these days.
I think they blew their fucking load too goddamn early. They told us 2 years ago that PoE 2 was coming out. And then they were like, it's gonna be fucking amazing. We're so excited. And then 2 years fucking later, we're still not dealing with PoE 2. I just don't want to play PoE 1 anymore.
Yeah, I'm done.
This gun does crazy damage, but it doesn't really fit my build well.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I have absolutely nothing to do with lightning at all.
Like, I wish I was a Stabomancer. Like, if I was a Stabomancer, this is going to be so dumb.
Just put it in your bank, make a new character.
Yeah. Because, like, I can't spend so much time shooting in this build. Like, I have to be throwing spells.
God, that's my thing. Is I have to be spawning more minions.
Here's the sad thing. Is my build is always, it's always been about the spin to win mechanic. I don't think I've used that my ability more than a few times tonight, because at no point can I get in on a group of enemies to actually start spinning before you guys kill it all. So yeah. I'm just.
Oh, this guy's actually kind of tanky. Look at this guy.
He's got some health. Come spin on him. Come spin on him.
I'm coming.
Spin on that boy.
I'm coming. I'm going to spin on him. Where is he?
Oh shit!
Well, now he's getting close to dead.
Thanks for the
there it is,
Prime sub.
Spinning! Woo! That's fun.
Hey! Where the fuck were you that you didn't see him?
He was motherfucker was just standing right back here talking, not playing, just standing back here talking.
Jeremy, Diary Christmas Lights.
I feel you. I feel you. Also, thank you, Mox, for the sub. It is appreciated. Oh, fuck.
When are we gonna play it this weekend though, Nixie? We've got Clash as well.
Got Clash.
Jeremy,
we're gonna fit that in.
Turn around. Over here, buddy.
What?
Oh shit! No! Why? Why are we doing so many encounters?
I saw Jake get attacked by a snake.
I was in my menu.
Buddy system.
Mitch left me. Thought we were friends.
You did not say cover me as the required term.
Yeah, Mitch, just leave and play right now.
So
I got things to do, guys. I'll catch you later.
One of my AoEs just did.
It's been fun. Here, I actually have a 3-person layout. We can kick this over. Mitch, you can skedaddle if need be.
It's already planned. They expected me to leave.
It's funny. There's like, yeah, I need a layout for all possible number of players. I'm like, oh, God.
I literally, because I was like, I have no idea how this is gonna go. I have no idea if everyone's gonna have fun with this, if people are gonna bow out, if we're gonna have miss people on multiple weeks, etc., etc. If I'm gonna want to maybe play this solo on some days. So I was just like, fuck it, make me a layout from 1 to 4 players.
Which means actually 2 to 5.
Yeah, because we gotta include Odie.
Yeah. So
well, Odie / Lippo, but really
ever
Odie.
Actually mean 1. He means. He doesn't mean 4. He means 5.
But that's a given. You know that. Like it's you know. It's
also,
not like it's
I would
a
like to
thing.
commend Jay's discretion as a Photoshop king. So granted, I know that your layouts aren't Photoshop, but like just as a artistic
Photoshop
freelancer,
is like Band-Aid. Like it's
yeah.
fun.
So like as a freelance or artistic person, he didn't say a goddamn word when I sent him Lily's token and said, "Can you make this a token?"
Nice.
Didn't ask me a single question. Didn't say anything. Just
Dude,
sent it back as a
Jay
token.
is my go-to. Every single custom thing that gets thrown into any of our games, anywhere.
Also, I thought that was gonna be an NPC token. Like Lily just be. I thought that was gonna be an NPC. Like I had no idea that like when you showed up, that was like still super surprising to even me.
I legitimately have things in the can that Jay has produced for me that I don't know that we will ever see the light of day on.
Like, he didn't say a damn thing. I sent it to him, and I was like, "Hey, can you make this a token?" He sent it back and didn't ask a single question.
Well, the thing is, at
Jason.
least especially when it comes to like Dungeons and Dragons, I want you guys to be able to come to me with something, and not worry about me like trying to spoil something for myself. I want you to be able to like do something and be like, "Here's the thing," and not ask anything. Like,
yeah. So like the giant spiders I made, like I did that token, but like, dude, it was so much work trying to like get the ratios like right. Of like how many pixels and fucking shit to like fit into a square.
Oh, here's the thing. At least with Roll20, it doesn't matter because everything is like squished to fit down.
Oh, you can squish it.
5x5 or a 10x10.
As long as you are using a square resolution, it'll you can get it in there. Yeah. It's also
like,
one of those
hard,
things
like
though,
when you have a huge image.
Yeah.
And you're like trying to like scale it down to a token.
It is one of those things of the more you do it, the more you get used to it, right? So,
but here's the problem though. Like, nobody said this yet. But when I'm doing tokens, I'm using that ring that we're all used to for the token. There's a part of it like at the bottom that's chopped off, and I keep forgetting to try to fix that.
Yeah, there's this little like
no one cares,
absolutely.
dude.
Also, so I've had this weird situation here lately. I've been doing some background testing that I can't really talk about, but I have been using old tokens, really old tokens from the first game that we played. And they were not round tokens, they were full square tokens, and it is throwing me the fuck off. It is super throwing me the fuck off.
Well, do you remember Out of the Abyss? They were square, transparent. tokens.
They were transparent. They didn't have the circles.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely. It's just square
I remember,
and transparent.
I remember going through that.
It wasn't even transparent. It was
like,
just
I actually didn't hate that. I actually thought that looked kind of cool on the map, but like,
it was okay. Yeah.
Okay. I was actually really surprised that, like, and if you guys did know, you can say so. But like, I was surprised you guys didn't know that Lily was in there because like she showed up on the right as players.
Well, so here's
the
I didn't see her in the game. Fuck! I turned and punched the wrong way. I didn't see her in the game. But she she and Mox had previously jumped into the Discord channel on multiple occasions.
They threw you off by doing that.
So her presence didn't surprise me. I was like, oh, they just poked their heads in to see what's going on.
Oh yeah, they were just looking to follow along.
You know?
Maybe Mitch made a torch for them or something.
So
and that's super cool that people are willing to they're curious enough about the campaign to check it out. Just see what's going on, hang out.
It was funny because Lily was working on her character and we were getting all built up in Roll20. She actually hit something a descriptor that kicked into the chat.
Oh no, I feel ya. I've had so many horror stories where I'm working on something special and I click the button and then it's in chat and I'm like, oh god, oh no, they're gonna see it now. Gotta clear the chat. Gotta clear the chat.
I couldn't figure out how to clear it, so I cleared chat log, but it cleared it personally.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. So what I found is quite frequently when that happens, I'll just open up a regular thing and I'll just do a bunch of weapon attacks, just and I'll be like, no one's gonna find this shit. No one's gonna find it. So fuck
it. Whenever I see there a spam, I know there's something Jeremy's hiding.
Look, so I'll just throw in a couple of different ones. You'll never find it.
I did see Lily join the actual Roll20 campaign, but I assumed that Mitch invited her so that nobody would have to stream their screen on Discord so she can see the map. And
I was hoping someone would think that, because her and I were talking about it, and I was like, oh man, yeah, they're probably gonna know, but maybe they think that. I don't know.
Well, I thought that, so. maybe you were either you're a very smart person to make that assumption, or I'm a very dumb person for falling for it.
It was I thought it was really fun. You guys mostly seemed surprised, and that was nice.
Yeah,
I was 100% genuinely caught off guard and surprised.
Super excited to have another person in the campaign.
Absolutely.
Mitch,
I'm super excited not to have another person in the game. I'm super excited to have Lily in the campaign. I've been excited for a long time for Lily or Mox to be involved in any of our tabletop
I've been trying to get
shenanigans.
Mox to play, but he's too cool for us.
He is too cool for us. He is absolutely too cool for school.
Mitch, that
no
reminds
questions
me of when I
asked.
had Kenny sit on my patio for an hour.
Yeah, he was out there for so long.
Because y'all kept fucking around.
Well, it was so funny when we started the session, and so I'll tell this because you weren't there, Jake. Yeah. So we started the session, and it immediately kicked off oh yeah, you guys have gotten all these orc ears or whatever, and you can turn those in for money, and suddenly the group started talking about why don't we just head back to town, turn these in, and retire, and everyone was talking about this, and I was like, okay, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. And it just kept going as a game of chicken, right?
Yeah.
You do that, okay, I'll let you do that. And Lily's over here messaging me so am I not playing?
Fucking D&D, Lily.
Here's the fun thing, Lily. Even if we had been insistent upon it, right? All Mitch would have had to do is be okay, fine. You head back to town, and then when you get there, you do all your shit. The mayor is insistent that the threat is not dealt with, you must return, and then we meet you in the exact same place, exact same situation. It's just 6 days later.
I like what Mitch actually did.
It's Schrodinger's Lily at that point.
And then you're overtaken by Wonderlust and go back. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I did something along those lines.
Yeah.
You spend all your money and you go back.
But it's if we had legitimately wanted to do that, if we had been insistent that we wanted to return, or if we had, at the start of it, if we'd been we talked about those NPCs that we sent back, and you were like, oh yeah, they're definitely dead. If someone had suddenly sparked up and been like, well, I don't want them to be dead, let's go chase them down and escort them home, right? that could have led to a similar situation where we
Yeah, you
weren't
would've found
gonna
Lily in the
back
forest at that
down.
point.
Yeah, exactly.
You
But
definitely would've found Lily in the
it's
forest.
legitimately just a scenario of, oh, well, let me pick up Lily and put her over here. You know,
now Lily's being attacked by a couple of elk.
Job done. She pissed off
We
the
should have
elk.
killed them when we had the chance.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I need to break the seal and blow my nose and get a new drink. So,
I need a drink as well.
do we want to take like a quick 5-minute break? Okay,
Yeah,
let's take 5.
5.
We're gonna take 5. We will be back in just a few minutes for more Tiny Tina. Okay, we're back. that was kind of like a quick return because I realized we were just gonna continue talking until.
Yeah, we're about like we're a very talkative
Social?
mood tonight.
We're chatty.
Yeah.
We're chatty
I
catties.
mean, we're always pretty chatty, though.
We are
pretty
usually
chatty.
chatty. Yeah.
We were doing just what we would do on stream, just not on stream.
We just need to rebrand this as a podcast with a bonus of visuals.
A visual
Is it really a
podcast.
bonus?
Absolutely.
The problem with that
Look,
is that podcasts are usually formatted.
Wow, rude, and also false.
Oh, my bad.
Hell yeah, you're bad.
Hell yeah.
Brett just tore him a new one.
I can't believe that's Andy saying. That's so good.
I can't believe it took me as long as it did to figure it out. Like, I'm honestly disappointed in myself. Like, I've watched so much Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like,
Listen to us so much of Lonely Island.
like I was
Like,
disappointed in myself.
A whole lot of Lonely Island.
You likely know of me. I am Garrett of
I was actually listening to I'm on a boat earlier today.
Garrett of Trivia.
I was waiting for you to respond, Mitch.
Why has he got his stupid hat on?
Kisser of witches.
The hood. He's
They
wearing
couldn't make
a
him
hood.
cool? They couldn't make him cool?
That's
I'm
the
disappointed.
point.
I'm mad.
Well,
I
you
mean,
better
he
bring out
sounds
that,
cool. He just doesn't look
three-person-
cool.
Better bring out that 3-person overlay.
Oh, he's also apparently a wimp because he just fucking ran.
In real life.
I'm disappointed.
I feel you. I feel you on that one. Also,
actually, I forgot I was gonna share this to you, Jay. Remind me later. But I found a video someone did where they recreated Geralt's combat style in Elden Ring.
Really?
Yep. Like the oils and like the signs and all of his like attack moves and stuff like that. It is really fun.
It was actually funny. In Jeremy's, like, it might have been 2 weeks ago from now, but me and I can't remember who the viewer was, but me and him were going back and forth on how to properly recreate Virgil from Devil May Cry in Elden Ring.
That's fun.
Yeah,
You should try it, man.
We're like, all right, you can use these Ashes of War to get these abilities from these devil arms.
That's exactly what, like, when I was watching this video, like, what he was doing, like, trying to get specific, like, move sets and, like...
Yep.
And he had, like, the whole, like, pirouette and, like, the...
Yeah, I was like, you can use, you could use, like, square off to give you access to high time and
There you go.
stinger.
That's fun. That's awesome. Like, that's so cool. Ashes of War are such an awesome idea. Like, such a great addition.
They're a very nice
Absolutely
addition.
The
Absolutely.
direction that From should have gone. Like, the customizability of Ashes of War were so good. Like, I was
the singular like criticism I would say is make them as good as the like special ones as well.
Yeah.
Like so like for instance, I'm just gonna take my experience. Moonlight Blade. There was not a single Ash of War that even came close to what Moonlight Blade was doing.
Sorry,
It would have been nice. That was my like slash, and it shoots out a fucking
on Moonveil?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like, I would love to have been enticed to try other things, but it was so good I couldn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was actually good for me, and that's another thing. Like weapons that, and these are basically any weapons that use somber stones, are have ashes that you can't alter. But
yeah,
and because of that, majority through my first playthrough, I only used weapons that did not use somber stones because I love to change out my Ashes of War. As
I was the reverse.
Pure melee character, I mean, it was a great time.
See, and I was the reverse because like I found a couple of great somber stone weapons and never felt the need to change.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I've been kind of like Mitch's this scenario. Like I've been not like anti Ashes of War. It's just the build that I've done and the weapons that I've been using are not conducive to other like experimenting with ashes. So
yeah,
I'm
and like
out there.
I was like a more physical version of your build, Jeremy. So like I was into like castery, but like more dex.
Sure.
Right.
I'm like no dex, so any dex is more dex.
Yeah. But like so like I was a katana mage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the I think at least what the biggest thing about Ashes of War was, I think I don't know if this was the intent, but what it came off to me is like, so casters run through a gambit of new spells as they progress through the game.
Yeah.
Melee never really had that option as far as like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 and Demon Souls, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What you had was the weapon in your hand, and that was it. So what the greatest thing about Ashes of War, at least for weapons that weren't somber, was that you now have this new tool that you can start swapping out on the regular to try out a lot of new things. Similar to how like a caster would run across a new spell, a melee person could run across an Ash of War, and it was just, and that's so fucking cool. Like
it's a fantastic mechanic because like it makes every weapon more dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
So like I could say I love, like, remember from Dark Souls, was it 2 or 3? I don't remember. But you loved the Spike Club. I think it was 3,
that was
right?
3. That was 3.
Yeah.
Spike Mace.
Yeah.
Spike Mace was my jam, man.
You love the Spike Mace, right?
Uh-huh.
It's just like everything about it you loved. But like imagine being able to do like some of the Ash of Wars that like greatswords do, or like katanas do even. Like the idea that you can mix and match these like very specific moves to fit other weapons is so cool.
So good.
I mean, it's even
Also,
cool.
like-
It's even cool, just like if there are like great sword exclusive style ashes, right? Because there are some of
the
those where
idea
it's
that-
like, but being able to put that on any of the great swords is really nice, rather than just this great sword has this weapon art done. You know?
Well, and the other thing too, and just like from nerd out a little bit, but like just from the development side of that, like mapping out like all these weapons, being able to do these same arts, it's a bit of an endeavor. That's a bit of work to make sure that all these weapon arts fit across all these different weapon types and they like fluidly work.
Yeah, because
like that's really impressive.
Hierarchy of ashes, and like certain ashes work with like certain types of weapon. It could be like 3 or 4 different types, but not others, right?
Yeah.
So as a player, you might find an Ash War you really like. So you're not pigeonholed into one weapon. You might be pigeonholed into like several different types to use this one ash.
Sure.
Like for instance, I loved the katana moveset. Like being able to put like a great sword weapon art on top of that, like that's awesome. That's just really cool.
It's just, I think at the end of the day, all we can say is that Elden Ring basically brought the Soul series into a much more cohesive, user-friendly, and quality of life like system. Right?
I think
in my opinion, Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna just piggyback and maybe like go a little further on what Jay was saying and say that I think Elden Ring is to the gaming industry what Dark Souls was to the gaming industry when it came out. It is the new standard.
Yeah. Well, it took, and what I was gonna say is like it took everything we love about Souls games and decided, hey, let's bring this into a new genre, this open world, like very immersive experience as opposed to our very linear ideas before. And
I don't even like open world games, and I played that shit 3 times.
It's a perfect example of expanding into a new realm and doing it well.
And like I do agree with you. I also think that like it's a logical step forward because I actually think that, I mean, if you think about it, they only partially moved into a new realm, right? Like,
yeah, like they're like zones.
Exactly.
They're already big. They had cohesion between various things. I do agree with you. I don't think it's like my god, they had a very linear like God of War story where like you went here, done.
Well, yeah, but not only just that, but like it's almost kind of like a faux open world because it is an open world, but it's an open world where you're open until you go to the big thing, and then that big thing is generally kind of like a very Dark Souls-esque style dungeon. Like you think about Stormvale, or you think about I'm just talking about the places that I've been, right? Like those are comparable to dungeons from the just Souls series, right? Like they have more flexibility because of the added verticality and freedom of movement added by jumping and stuff like that, right? But it's almost kind of like a hybrid, and I think that's why Jay actually enjoys it, or partially why, right? Is because it's not just open world shtick, it's open world until you get to a cohesive dungeon, and then that cohesive dungeon is still very much the Dark Souls feel.
Yeah, well, and I think like you made a good point. Like they did a great job of keeping their identity, moving into the new genre.
Yes,
like it was a Souls game, but now we're gonna give you this other stuff.
Okay, well, I think what
perfect. It's really good.
Elden Ring the most as far as entering a new genre, and that being open world, is that they took very specific care to not make things samey, right? That's always been my problem with open world games, is like you can go walking for like an hour in a single direction, and maybe at the end of it, all you have out of it is like a few wheels of cheese, right? And that's always irritated the fuck out of me. But Elden Ring at least has made it an effort so that anywhere you go, any direction you go, there is something unique that way. Yeah. There is something different. Even if it's not for my build, even if it's not something I can use, it is still something new and unique. It's a different boss, a different take on a boss, a different accessory, a different weapon.
A different summon.
So I will say, I do agree. So I partially agree, partially disagree with you, and that's like one of the only complaints that I do have about Elden Ring. Is some of the kind of like side content stuff as you're exploring around. Like I do really enjoy the generalized like atmosphere, and it feels like an immersive whole atmospheric world. But like then you do some of the catacombs and I'm like, oh, same enemy type in this catacomb as the last 2 catacombs. Oh, it's the last 2 bosses I faced in the catacombs but now it's both of them at the same time. And I'm like, there could be a little more variation.
Challenge.
Yes,
I will say,
the challenge is fine.
Catacombs could have been more.
Could have been a little more,
Right,
And that's a nitpick.
I will give you
that's a
but
nitpick,
here's the
not
thing.
like a crazy,
If we back up from Catacombs, and you look at one of the biggest open world games before that, which was Breath of the Wild, which was basically just like Catacombs, but here's 600 of them.
Yes, and I do agree. I do agree. Like it is a nitpick for the situation, not like
it's a here's a criticism to what can it do better. Yeah.
Like Elden Ring has done the best job at addressing the problem.
You ran past this one
with open.
What are you talking about?
It's red. You can't get it until you do the green. You got to do them in order.
Oh, they have a color order?
Yeah, the green. You got to get the green one.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Ooh, I fucked that up.
I did too. The second one seems
Yeah.
tricksy.
You have to jump off at the right point.
But I mean, and I think at least the Dark Souls formula lends itself well to like an open world game, because like take Horizon. There aren't builds. There's just your character, right?
Yeah.
And you're always, by the end of the game in Horizon, either if it's the original or Forbidden West, is going to be the same character at the end of the game every playthrough, right? The only difference is it might have different mods and some different guns, but for the most part, it's going to be like when I played through Elden Ring 3 times, I had 3 incredibly different builds all 3 times, and that's not even scratching the surface of like.
I think what I loved is like my solo playthrough was so drastically different than my playthrough when you and I went through.
Yeah,
like
Father
it was just
Sickness and Brotherleen.
It was such a different experience because, like, and funny enough, playing with you, the game felt harder.
Yeah.
And that's wild.
That's how I feel like this game should be. Not easier.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I'd like to mention like specific parts of our game where it specifically felt like super difficult, but I can't do that because Jeremy's here and it's parts he hasn't been to yet and spoilers. But just it goes without saying that like there were certain areas where like God damn, we were like trying to cheese bosses.
That gusto window get you.
Like we were trying really hard to like.
Well, I've already gone
get
too far
through
now.
shit that
I don't think I
and it was frustrating too because like I would be doing that fight and like solo, I was like Moonvale, done.
But like, Mitch, I don't even know if I have to like describe the boss at all. But remember when we were like trying to drop aggro, hide, throw up, like hide as a
good
piece
night.
Of, oh my god,
Rachel.
Oh, like Trust trying to get in there, only to find out it's like, oh, you can't get here till you have at least 2 greater souls. You're like, are you fucking kidding me?
I was so
It was
mad.
for nothing.
I was the big man on that one.
Nice,
I mean,
you got it,
I wouldn't
Jake.
think I
Do
was
it.
mad. It's just- I mean, that's like, as far as like open world games,
Nice
that's
job.
the only kind of gating that the game actually does. Is like you need so many great runes before you can open this like area to get into this area, right? And that's, and I mean, yeah, that's kind of lame, but it's also like the only way they can gate your progress. There's no like story you have to follow. It's Dark
like people
Souls,
like to complain about any sort of gating. I think some gating is perfectly fine and acceptable.
Oh yeah.
Like
Okay, look, like they still are trying to tell a story, right?
Yeah.
Or at least like a kind of a story. Like
how fun is a game that you like start the game and can immediately go fight the final boss? Like
look, here's
what's
the thing.
point of that game?
Wild.
Everyone
Like you literally can do that.
people are going to find something to bitch about. If they had made it to where right? There were no gating mechanics at all. Some people would be complaining that you can just go to this game is a 20-minute game. You can just go to the final boss and beat it immediately. This is worthless, you know? Like, there are always you cannot please everyone. There are always going to be people that are going to complain about something. I do not think the idea of, oh, the game is bad because it has gating is a valid complaint. It's just not.
You know what's really funny? I feel like we're actually engaging in some like good conversation that people would actually want to listen to, but I'm drunk at this point. So I imagine I could go back and watch this VOD and be like, God damn, why are we talking about this still? What the fuck? And nobody wants to listen to this.
No one wants to listen to half of the shit that we talk about. What do you...
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, we've had several conversations. I think, like, specifically you two could drive a podcast really well, and I like chiming in with questions.
I mean, we've been down the RPG book club idea a couple of times, Mitch.
I know. Like, I'm just saying, I think you guys have very good conversations about stuff. So, like, it could do well.
I'm not sold.
It could do well.
I'm not sold either.
It could be okay, I suppose. Ooh, I bet there's a
say it like that. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
Wait, who's the getting the fuck out of here?
Both of you.
Oh.
You were saying it like I was being degrading about it. I actually think you guys have really good conversations and you have good insight about what you're talking about.
I think Jay's okay.
I'm not okay.
And funny enough, Jay's "gotta die on these hills" comments are incredibly good for content.
They just lead to really good arguments.
Yeah.
Which is good for content, absolutely.
It really is.
Like, I almost wish that either Jay or I were legitimately internet famous, just so we could see the wave of both for and against Jay,
like,
because there would be both
regular civil wars.
Yeah, there would legitimately be lines drawn in the sand over the shit that Jay, like the fucking hills that Jay decides to die on.
Me and Jeremy will have some very like adamant like disagreements.
Well, and see, here's what I would be really excited about is like how many people agree with Jay, and like so like the dichotomy of your fan base, and like how. And I feel like Jay's head would get so big when suddenly people are willing to die on his hill.
It would be flips. There would be scenarios where, like, sometimes the fan base would be like, nah, Jay dumb, fuck Jay. Or we would actually form, like, cliques where there were, like, generally people that are agreeing with Jay and generally people agreeing with me. It would be horrendous. It would be god-awful.
Here's the problem. Me and Jeremy will get adamantly against one another in a topic, but it's always in good fun. Like, just last week, we had this huge argument about Star Ocean 3.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, we're just, like, fucking talking shit, right?
There is nothing about gaming.
Like, you know...
Oh no, there'd be fan theories of like you guys are fighting.
Actually,
and,
like mad at each other.
We're not ever mad at each other.
There is nothing about anything in gaming that I could actually. I mean, nothing that's not like a moral or ethical thing, right? Like there's nothing about video gaming that I would legitimately argue or be mad at one of my friends over. Right?
Absolutely.
Now, that's not to say that I wouldn't be mad over ethical things or business practices or people being assholes in games or toxicity or all those types of things. Those are all different. But, like, Jay thinking that Star Ocean 3's story is shit, I couldn't give a fuck about. I just like to argue it with him.
Yeah.
You know? He's obviously wrong,
is like if
right?
someone saying what I say is so wrong, and I'm an idiot for thinking about it.
Yeah, that is the part.
Those are the only kinds of things that would make me upset.
Yeah, that is the part where the things do kind of get like a little frustrating or annoying with like some groups online where it's like, y'all, like, you have taken it too far. You are now trying to live or die by your opinion of the thing that you like. I love a lot of things. Like, I love Vagrant Story, but if someone came to me and was like, look, I played this game and it felt like shit. Yeah, okay. That's a valid experience. Fair enough. You know?
Well, like, and the thing is like, I'm super interested in other people's opinions and views on things that I've played or experienced, but those experiences don't change what mine was.
Sure, exactly.
And there seems to be, like, the internet seems to think a lot of times that there is one definitive way that things have to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
And that's so frustrating sometimes.
It is. It can definitely be. And I understand it though. Like I do. It's the wanting to have something as like an identification and being a part of something, right? Yeah. I do get the scenario of like, if we really wanted to get into it, it's like the Jay identifying with loving Chrono Trigger and hating Chrono Cross, right? If he found a group of people that were like-minded, that's seductive, right? Like, it's seductive to be a part of that group and feel that kind of identity,
feeling of righteous rightness,
and affirmation, validation, etc.
Yeah, vindication. That's
especially in our day-to-day lives, where a lot of us don't get to feel validation or vindication in those types of things. Online, internet groups or cliques can offer that to people, and that's seductive as fucking hell, right? Like, it's crazy seductive.
The echo chamber effect.
Yes, absolutely, right? So, like, I do understand why people get sucked into it, but it really is toxic behavior. Like, at its core, anytime
if you don't see it for what it is, it's toxic.
Well, it's almost like, even if you see it for what it is, if a core portion of your identity or grouping is the hatred of another thing, then that is not healthy. That is toxic. That is bad. Right?
Like, Chrono Cross is trash though.
Unless it's Nazism.
Well, no, like, see, even the scenario of, like, if the core identification is your...
isn't toxic?
No, he's saying hatred of Nazism. Like, if your core identity is to hate Nazism, that is still, I would argue, a toxic bad thing. Right? Like, your core identity should be the
your core identity is hatred.
Opposite
it's
of
still
what...
hatred.
Yeah, your core identity should be the opposite standpoints of fascism or Nazism or what have you, right? But if your shtick is just, I'm gonna hate this thing, right? Like, hating capitalism is incredibly popular right now, and for good reason. It should
more
be
than 50%,
right? It should be. But the core thing is if you let hatred be the identifying factor rather than caring about the things that are solutions, then that is not a healthy environment. That's not a healthy, like, following. It just is what it is. Anyways, y'all got me, like, waxing philosophical over here at this point, so I'm just gonna find more shit to kill.
Yeah. Ooh, looks like a good thing to kill. Let me kill. Oh, well, I did 29k on the one, like, Nova proc.
Nice. I don't think I do 29k.
Well,
I
mean,
like
I feel like
damage.
the build I'm running is very similar to a build that I found that was doing like 3 million with this, so it's obviously not optimal. But
yeah, but I mean, the 3 million for that was probably with perfect gear sets and with almost full mythic ranks. So
it was still fun. This has been a fun build the whole way through. I've been enjoying.
I mean, honestly, so I talked earlier about that idea of like, I don't want to go back to play PoE, but every time I see you play this build, I kind of do want to go play a Cyclone build again. Like,
Cyclone.
I just love Cyclone builds.
Cyclone
like,
with BV.
I love I love straight Cyclone. I love Cyclone with like cast on crit. I love Cyclone with cast on channel.
You think
like
you get BV up?
I love it. It's just like there's so many good, interesting, fun combinations that you can do with it. It's a good time.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Cyclone is it's a movement skill technically.
Yep.
I enjoy my build. But I tell you what, like, I wish I just shot more.
Yeah. You should have just gone Stabomancer.
I should have been a Stabomancer.
Well, I mean, you can change that once we hit post game.
No,
that's true.
This is my life now.
I made my bed. I'm gonna lay in it.
But like I do a crazy amount of damage. That's not the problem. But like the gameplay loop, like the way of playing, I would rather shoot stuff than like press my thumb buttons on my mouse and cast spells.
Yeah. Well, I'm pressing thumb buttons on my mouse. Oh god! Why? It dumped me in the fucking pit! I trusted you, jump pad. I trusted you, jump pad, and you put me in the pit! What happened? I didn't even hit, like, slam or anything.
It did not trust you.
What happened? Why did
I don't even know what we're doing. What are we even doing? We have to free Salisa's form.
Go back to the big crystal.
Alright. I'm drunk. I haven't been paying attention.
Also, I don't know if you guys realize
I've been getting actively distracted
with this quest, right? The Witcher quest. The quest name is The Ditcher because every time we start something, he bounces.
Oh, look at bitch. Look at that face. Look at that fucking face.
I mean, it makes sense.
Oh.
Shut the fuck up.
It's pretty good.
We're talking about the...
Okay, I assume Jake just isn't here. He's out questing for Die.
What are you talking about?
Well, hey, well, we should wait. We should wait for Mitch to get back so he can experience the conclusion of the.
There's a
Witcher.
third banner to place.
Yeah. I'm just making sure.
I placed it yet.
All right. I'm just making sure that Mitch is here. So
I like your blue motif going on here. I'm not sure
Thanks,
about.
It was supposed to be like ice. Like
I don't like this thing on your chest though.
The thing on my chest. There's a thing on my chest.
All day nipple.
This right here.
The holding. I can't see.
He got two of them.
I can't really control my armor.
Look at the stream.
Oh, you mean my shield?
That's his ward.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's where everybody's shield is.
It clashes with the whole rest of the thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're fucked up, dude.
Also, I need your sword to be blue instead of green.
Let's see the conclusion of the bitch of Blaviken.
I will murder your ass. I will wear your skin as a coat. I will.
Oh, she just went inside me.
Oh man, I was hoping for a reaction. Thank you.
Look, you got Chrono Trigger. I'll take Witcher for this one.
Fair. I found out today. I posted a video of it, but there is a secret ending in Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers. If you like played Radical Dreamers and beat it, whatever, great, you get credits at the end, whatever. But if you beat Chrono Cross first and then you beat Radical Dreamers, they give you a post-credits like story about the character McGill in the game.
I got a present for it. Hold on, I gotta find it.
Isn't that magic staff guy that's basically Lynx?
He got a present.
Ooh, That might Jay might actually want that because I don't think he has a.
Does it have? Does it have Ka-Chow and also was it Ka-Chow and Bonk?
I don't know. I saw Buffmeister and melee damage, and I
yeah, it's got to have
dropped it.
Ka-Chow and Bonk is like the best role for me, because Ka-Chow is ability damage.
Did I grab it or did you pick it right back up?
Did I? I don't think I grabbed it.
'Cause I don't have it in my inventory.
No, I don't have it. Did you hold E and equip it?
I mean, I'm not wearing my other Buffmeister.
I do not have it. Someone picked it up.
It's fine. I'm not worried about it.
Oh, I found it. I was looking for a ward for some dumb reason. This one has Bonk and Zap. Just
no. I actually have a Buffmaster that has Ka-Chow on it, and I think that my build mostly rolls on ability damage over melee. But if I could get a Ka-Chow and Bonk, that'd be best. But if I had to choose between Ka-Chow and Bonk, I would choose Ka-Chow.
I love.
What's the difference between all of these?
The statements that you're making right now, because it just sounds like gibberish. Ka-Chow and Bonk with Bonk and the cow and the Ka-Chow and the Bonk and the Zap and the Spark and the Ka-Chow and the Bonk. Like, I get it. I know that these things stand for things.
I know what's going on, but
right?
it's ridiculous.
But it sounds like fucking gibberish. I want to respond my instinctual reaction as a video game player is to look at you and go, nerd.
Jay, I found the
my
weapon
god,
you
I was
need
about to like
use.
jinx you, like, shut the fuck up, nerd.
I want to see you whirlwind with that.
All right, so I'll go ahead and tell you.
I know I use a hammer. You use a sword.
I spin with an axe.
Y'all get y'all's asses over here.
But that is funny. I've not seen a salmon before.
Yep.
A salmon.
A melee weapon salmon. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I found one of those actually. If you'd like another.
That's fine.
I've got another slammin' salmon.
Yes, Buffmeister has 2 mods at the bottom, and they're all named funny for different core
Bonk,
stats.
Zap, Pew.
Yeah. There's a bunch of
Do
different
you
ones.
know what they are off the top of your head? What they do?
I know that Pew is gun damage. I know that Bonk is melee. I know that
Jay, you ain't moving.
Fucking what? Oh, sorry.
Fucking what did you say to me?
What? That was oddly aggressive.
I got my map open. I'm fucking looking at you. You ain't moving.
Hey, that's invading.
You find yourself in front of me.
You just ran past the dice.
I didn't run past it. It's in a shadowed area that I did not look into. I see you. I'm watching you right now on my map. Nope. Bring your ass. Jake.
Wait, I have to be present for this?
Jake, bring your ass.
I'm coming!
Not you. I said Jake.
Oh, sorry.
I heard Jay.
It's hard to hear the K.
Jake.
I'm coming. I scoured for dice and only found one. Did you check over here? You probably did check over here.
Yeah, I already checked over there. There's a chest.
Oh, chest.
This arena is way too open to not be an arena where we fight this lady.
I think we're gonna go up there first.
Ooh.
She's got glasses.
She really?
Yeah, look at her.
Yeah, she's a museum curator. Of course she has to have glasses.
They're not glasses, Jeremy, they're spectacles.
Well, she still has to have them.
I have a spectacle for you.
Don't threaten me with a good
Surely you jest. Celeste's imprisonment keeps
Surely you jest.
Surely you jest.
Oh god, I fell through a hole. Oh my god, where the fuck am I?
I nerd.
Help.
Sucks to suck.
Help!
I think I see the holy
Where are
bell. Oh man, look at this big ass chest over here that Mitch isn't going to be able to open. Whoa!
I have no idea how Mitch got to where
Pad
he is.
of jealousy.
Oh, did you jump down the middle, Mitch?
Yeah, help!
What the fuck?
Nah, not helping.
Why did you do that?
Help!
No.
I don't know. It was an accident.
It wasn't an accident.
It's an accident.
To slither within this twisted realm, but my curiosity
Ooh, loot die.
overcame my judgment. It is a
Help!
first
Oh,
step,
who die?
a warped and unholy pocket of reality, forged by the sheer power of the first viziers during the shattering ritual when they
By the
imprisoned
first
Celis's
viziers.
mind in the shrine.
Brazier?
I love the word vizier. It's like I feel like vizier is one of the in like fantasy,
It's Jafar.
Arabia.
Jafar.
It's so
It's
Jafar, but
Jafar.
it's so
Jafar.
vizier is so quintessentially like it's like 70, it's like 80-20 evil. Right? For me. Every time I hear vizier, I'm just like, ooh,
My
shit.
God.
We about to see
Yeah.
a bad
Hold on.
guy.
It's like the evil version of like a counselor.
Seriously, I don't think anybody left in the chat, but people on YouTube, and also Jeremy, I can't remember what it is. There was a musical about Jafar not being the bad guy.
Oh, it's yeah, absolutely. Shit.
So fucking good.
Share, please. I would like to know what
It's
that is.
really good.
It's such a good fucking musical.
So spoilers, guys. You're
Hey,
actually supposed to go down the middle, and I could use some help.
It's
Yes,
not.
It's called Twisted.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So yeah. Oh yeah. Mitch.
Well, so the
Absolutely.
thing that threw me is if I
Twisted?
remember correctly, it's not just about
Can you
Jafar.
message that to me, Jay?
It also shows like there's a lot of cameos of a lot of Disney villains in it. Period. It's really, really good. It's old too. It's like 15 years
yeah,
old or
super
something
old.
like that.
But it is an amazing musical.
Yeah, it's very good.
Oh, so you had it all handled.
Yeah, I took care of it.
I wasn't worried.
Oh. It's the original. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, what's
In fact, I'm gonna
you
put
like
it in the main
musicals,
chat
Mitch?
as well.
One more time.
You like musicals?
I love musicals.
Have you ever watched Firebringer?
Never heard of it.
What? That's another decently good one. It's not all hits in my opinion, but it's pretty damn good. Like
Send me them sweet links.
ah fuck, I jumped. Don't jump, just enjoy the ride.
I sent you one in DM, but I also sent one to the group just in case, because Twisted needs to be witnessed by all.
Twisted's awesome. Like I've seen it many times, and I might actually just go watch it again tomorrow.
Oh yeah, man!
Like it's good shit.
Yeah,
Like
it's funny
the
because
guy who plays Jafar too, I can still recall his face, and I just feel for him. Like I just
That's the
see
point.
his face and feel for him.
So I've never had a big desire to do theater until I saw the guy who plays the king in Hamilton. I just want to play a comedic relief villain.
Sure.
That's the only role I've ever wanted to play in theater.
Where the fuck did we go after here? I've already made this circuit twice.
I have no idea.
There's also an Evil Dead musical, which I don't think that's going to be everybody's bag, but I liked it. The best song out of that is called "What the Fuck Was That?"
Yeah,
and
Who's that?
I often that song often like comes back.
Oh,
to
those
me.
are all portals. Okay.
Wait, what?
You got there right the fuck before me, Mitch. I hate you.
Help. Help.
Walk through the giant starry portals.
Or just teleport back to where the quest marker says.
Giant starry portals.
Just walk through
Yeah,
a wall.
I'll just you take the TP. Hey guys.
You're a bitch.
You good?
Yeah.
Little bitch boy.
I'll be a little bitch boy. I don't care. Look at them glasses.
It's absolutely hilarious. That
They're
you're
lit up now.
attempting to bring us back. Love that for us. Anyway, catch us if you can.
What?
Better not let this body die. She seems so innocent. But we've got places to be.
Don't let her out of your sight.
There's a lot of snake people in this campaign.
Yeah.
I actually
I mean, we
appreciate
could
it.
say the same thing about Slither Swamp.
I mean, they kind of like focused on it though. Like they have Naga, they have goblins, they have undead. Like I like that. They're not trying to do 30 different things. They're just trying to do a handful of things well.
Yeah.
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 We're so weak.
Wow, that's fun. We've never been weak before. But you must know all about it.
That's fucked up.
No, trapped in my own mind. Celissa controlling my body. Listen to me. You must stop this or else she'll...
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Bit of a scream.
She'll be like, "Oh, just excuse that."
Oh,
nothing.
don't mind.
Oh, it's
Don't
nothing.
mind that. I've just had a bit of the old screaming fits.
Oh, we all gotta have those old screaming fits every now and then.
I wish that
Gotta
wasn't
get it
as
out of your
true as it
system.
was.
Just make sure you have a really thick pillow to mask the loud screams.
Better to scream into the pillow and instead of
Ah,
screaming
yes, when the
screaming
doctor
in the
prescribes
Twitter.
a pillow for your screaming fits.
You know,
Sometimes
I
it do be that way.
appreciate the time in which I was born, where all the stupidest shit I ever done was before
The internet?
literally every moment of every second of every day was uploaded to YouTube.
Yup.
Right.
Ooh, luck going up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I
kind
agree
of in
with
that
that.
sweet spot.
Oh yeah,
We had to
we got
appreciate
real
it
lucky.
for what it was without being quite as on it. As
Yeah,
others.
all of my errors and everything that's not just codified for
All
all
you
of
kids
eternity.
might be laughing at us because we grew up in a time where you couldn't use the phone and the internet at the same time.
But we didn't get recorded being dumb.
Absolutely.
Or we got recorded less being dumb.
It died before it made it to the internet.
I couldn't
Because-
get on my AIM messenger to talk to all my friends I didn't know.
My friends were too dumb to figure it out at the time.
Before we can fully resurrect her, we must now focus all her aspects into one, using the legendary weapon Tide Sorrow, Celissa's Bident.
It's a
Remember
Bident,
when
Jay.
when we thought Trillion was like literally the peak of instant messenger?
In Trillion.
There's like Trillion? Oh my god, you can add all of your instant messaging into one program? We have reached utopia.
I was playtesting my campaign, and in this part of the quest, I had players shoot the sun to get the labyrinth key, but it just wasn't working because nobody thought to look up. But then I got sleepy and I forgot to replace the task.
Well, what the hell are we supposed to do now?
Hey, baby, it's cool.
It's very overcast today.
Just get to the questions.
Can do.
Can do.
Andy Samberg is very accommodating.
Can do.
I feel like Andy Samberg would be a perfect player.
I feel like I sometimes there are certain known individuals, because I hesitate to like use actor or because there's a bunch of different people that I'm thinking of from a bunch of different walks of life, but there are a bunch of famous individuals that I have often been curious about whether or not they have any history of playing any games, any like whether not just like tabletop like classical like D&D or anything like that, but just like basic
just role playing
or like or even like some of the more board game like situations. Say what?
Was that the day the Earth stood still reference?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It was.
So, like, I wonder if there are a lot of people that I wonder about whether or not they have any of that, like, background, right? Like Andy Samberg being one of those kind of, like, faces of, like, I wonder if he's ever actually played any or done anything, you know?
I really like Andy Samberg. I'd be very sad to find out he's a shitty person in real life. Because, like, he seems like a really fun person to just hang out with.
I've heard like some unflattering stories about him being in public, but all those stories were like, you know, people asking for like autographs. And I get it. You know, as a famous person, like you can't walk out in public without being barraged by that. So I would like to believe that maybe that was just him on a bad day.
Like, I try not to hold autograph scenarios against people too much because, like, honestly, it's just like
there's a lot of people that are real shitty about it.
Real shitty about approaching
someone's house.
Yeah.
For an autograph,
not okay.
Is shitty.
Or you have it could be a scenario where like the person is being shitty, or it could just be like that person is having a bad day, or not even having a bad day. They're just fucking busy. They got shit to do, right? Like they're people too, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I try not to hold those kind of scenarios against someone too bad. It's like how they treat wait staff, or like how they treat just everyday people that they deal with. That's a more indicative factor of like how much I'm not gonna like someone.
Honestly, I think that's such a good like metric, how you treat wait staff.
Yeah.
I just don't understand treating wait staff poorly. It just
like what do you think's gonna happen?
You don't fucking gain anything. Like
they're not gonna suddenly be able to get you your food faster.
Absolutely, I guess best case situations, you degrade someone, you feel empowered, and you make some shit real difficult, and you get a free fucking meal. Great, good on you. You're still a piece of shit.
That's the goal, though, Jeremy.
Well,
for some
fuck me, I guess.
The customer comes first mentality needs to leave America.
Yeah. Honestly, tipping needs to leave America, and
but
like as somebody who actually worked like an Applebee's for 2 years, fucking bro, if you don't have a nice set of tits and you're working the food industry, do not expect tip.
Yep.
Being a male working the food industry is not easy. And
I mean,
coming from someone who is a white male who absolutely doesn't need any more privilege.
Yeah,
like...
being anyone working in the food industry is not easy. But yes, it is absolutely, because our cultural outlook is very sexist. It is both indicative of a situation where like it's gonna be you're gonna make shit regardless, but in that particular instance, being attractive is going to benefit you, right? Like, which should not be the thing. It should just be, are you doing your job? great. You're getting paid what you're supposed to be getting paid, not
Here's the
reliant
thing, though,
on other
like,
people's
your
generosity.
employer should be paying you,
Exactly.
not the customers.
Exactly.
Yeah, you want to know how much I got paid working at Applebee's for 2 years? On the day I left that company, I was being paid $2.13 an hour.
Yeah.
Guess how much that people in 2022 are getting paid to work at Applebee's per hour? $2.13. Because supposedly tips are supposed to make that up. Spoiler! Don't.
No, they don't. Absolutely not.
The company should pay the people.
Yeah.
Anti-work.
That's a cool looking staff.
It's really fucking cool, isn't it? I'm not gonna lie, like there have actually been several like quests and areas
what's it called?
in this
Jerry,
game.
look at the name of it!
What's it called?
The Bident!
Yeah. Did you
I already
not
knew
see
that.
it earlier when
He
talked
mentioned
about
Biden to you like earlier, and he said, "Oh yeah, Biden."
Did I? Oh god,
You're
sorry.
drunk. Go
No,
home, Jay. You're
seriously,
drunk.
It's been like a running gag, like a Bident.
That's
like,
why
you
I
have a
mentioned it
trident.
to you.
Like there's a Bident, there's a trident, a Bident, and a unident.
Yeah.
Right? That's all. And a
So
unident is
a spear.
yes, a spear is a unident.
By the way, it's
Don't you
And
shake
a
your head?
pitchfork.
You know it's true. That makes
And
perfect sense. And you're
a pitchfork.
mad because it makes sense.
Welcome to a new hill for Jay to die upon. Mitch,
I'm
I didn't go down this
Bidens
road
are
because I was
dual
already aware of
spears.
it.
Bidens are dual
I mean,
spears.
why would I
and
argue
Shreddies
that?
are trio spears.
Yep, absolutely. Why would I argue that? I get all right. I guess
Tri-spear,
what was it?
trio-spear.
Like
No,
last week, they're like, what's the
spear.
stupidest hill you die on?
That should have
Maybe
been
that's the
it.
one.
That should have
That
been it.
Spears are unidents.
That should have been it. Absolutely. You're correct.
That was actually a fun conversation. I liked that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
By the way, I've got so many. Hold on, guys. Come back. I've got like so. I want to get these out of my inventory.
That's fair. I actually have a lot of shit in my inventory. As
I've been picking these up. I can't use any of these.
I'll take that one.
I only pick up the ones that I don't
That's
already
the point.
know at
That's
this
the
point.
point of the piles.
I took the ones I don't have.
That's.
I have all of those.
So here are ones that I already have.
Anybody want the pickaxe? Or any of the melee people want the pickaxe?
Of the
Oh, I
goblin?
love it. It has the time is money, friend quote.
I have like 4 of those. So if people do want that, I have it.
I don't know if this always rolls with like the same shit, but if it doesn't, I have really good mods on this.
The secondary mod you have there, Warrior, that changes. So like there's Warrior, Archmage,
No, I meant the base things like the melee damage, attack speed, critical chance, critical
the base
damage.
stuff does change.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like if that's the case, I have really good stuff for a melee weapon. Melee damage, attack speed, critical chance, and critical damage all like that's just really
like so the pickaxe is a perfect example of things that I think Jay should experiment with, because every time you hit with that pickaxe, you gain a stack. And at 5 stacks, you have 30% action skill cooldown rate reduction.
Yeah. But also move speed. So also move speed. So you spin and you go.
So you spin,
and when it comes off,
spinning and keep spinning.
What is that?
Do you want to see it, Jay?
What is what piece of gear is that?
It's a weapon.
It's a weapon.
But I don't
Like
I don't know that you're gonna like be interested because it's lower
the damage isn't great.
Yeah. So
Like,
you're changing things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll definitely.
But it also has the warrior tag on it, which actually is good for damage. So here, just look at it. But it's one of those like on the surface it doesn't look
like that's
comparable, but
like that's another 40% melee damage
and damage reduction.
Yeah, like that's
damage reduction. Survivability is not a problem
yet.
I'm just saying, like, it's the same thing I said. I feel like I said this at the beginning of the night. I might be wrong. I might have forgotten, but like, you should be looking at other things than just straight damage, because I think you could really expand your build by capitalizing on some special effects.
Well, what was the big thing about this? Like, increase your damage reduction.
Every stack. You're stacking when you hit with it.
Yeah,
right?
it has two different stacking effects, right? So melee attacks.
It's 40 damage at max stack.
It's 40% melee damage at the max warrior stacks, 40% melee or damage reduction at the max stats. But it's also every time you pick up gold, you get a stack. So you get a 30% movement speed buff, 30% spell cooldown rate, and 30% action skill cooldown.
Well, I will give this a shot.
I have no idea if it's actually going to feel good or not, right?
Yeah, like your initial damage probably going to be lower, right? But
well, it's going to be like, so this pickaxe is like a third of the damage that a Banshee is.
But also, how impactful is your base damage compared to your action skill damage? Like, I don't know what, how those ratios work.
I have no idea how to check that.
Yeah, right. It's everything about this game is basically off of feel. So,
and here's the problem. Like, yeah, that's great and all. I think that'd be better single player because, like, I can actually hit things.
So what I would say is I actually think it might end up being where your main your normal shit you're just as high a melee damage as I can get would be better for solo play because you'll melt things on your own. But the pickaxe or a similar situation might be better for multiplayer so that you can
keep spinning.
Yeah, you can refresh your cooldowns faster. Basically,
that pack, I just went in there and spun, and
everything's still melted.
I mean, yeah, because y'all are shooting it.
Well,
I wasn't shooting.
I wasn't in there.
I had a couple minions there, but that was it.
It's all Jamie's fault.
Hey, Jay, go test it out. I'm not gonna touch shit. It's all you.
Well, all right, I'm coming. I'm still back. I was looking at something.
Get a feel.
Everything's up. What?
Interesting.
I don't do up.
Where are we supposed to go?
That died instantly.
Are we supposed to be going up? Yeah, we're supposed to be going up.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, we should play some Pavlov this weekend.
Yeah. I got that shit
Y'all
installed.
already got shit to play this weekend, motherfucker.
Oh, we do. Shit.
I mean, well, it's whatever, Mitch. I ain't going
It's
nowhere.
It's really satisfying shooting zombies in VR.
Yeah, especially when you're like, when you actually have to like properly reload a gun, like how you actually you actually have to like eject the clip, grab the magazine, throw it into the gun where it needs to be, and then rack it.
Those zombies are fast as fuck.
Oh, they're super fast. This shit's hard.
Are you ready ready to bear witness to the greatest monster slayer of all time at the top of his game?
It got to the point where I was always making sure I was reloading before the.
I don't like this. I don't like how they're fucking trolling Geralt.
No, you don't.
I don't. He is the greatest monster
I
slayer.
think that might be their intention. They're meant just to piss people like you off.
For
I don't have to like it. I'll bet you anything his ass gets fucking instantly murdered.
We can only hope.
Well,
I mean,
that was a cool statement.
Yeah, it was.
Wow, you're really as stupid as we'd hoped.
Mitch already firing shit.
Would y'all shut up? I just wasted my special.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, he just got squashed. Just got squashed immediately. And
the boss is dead.
She's dead.
The evil goddess is once again shattered by our soup's mighty.
That was basically that was how you guys dealt with Yerk just then.
That is
pretty much.
Well, all right. So the time frame, yes, but I just want to point out, I almost got fucking turned to paste in that fight.
Everything about the way you guys fight is just a massive DPS check every single time. It's just, can you obliterate them before they obliterate you? Full stop, nothing else.
Look, man, I can only take so
I'm
many
just saying,
hydro
Jeremy,
hits.
the moment you put in charms into combat, you're gonna TPKS.
There is a very specific reason why I generally design things. The only time things like mind controls or things like that show up is when you guys are fighting physically weaker opponents.
Like, cause like the moment you put like a good charm effect in on a fight, someone's gonna murder someone and shit's gonna go bad.
I'm aware.
There's always a charm effect that I could be susceptible to at any point. That I'm under a half HP.
Yeah, you and I,
Like,
I've been
you
doing
say
some.
that,
I've
but,
been doing
like,
some
the
thinking,
DC's so
Jay.
low.
It's 8.
I've been doing some thinking, Jay, and I've actually got some ideas on that. So I think you and I are going to be touching base on that.
Okay. Like the DC is I mean, just let's be honest, too fucking low.
It's inconsequential.
It's like, and even when it happens, like, how impactful is it most of the
Well,
time?
here's the thing. Every time I failed, it's always when I'm next to Ezra. Every single time, and he has got.
That is not true. That
it's
is
happened when you're next to Ezra or an enemy.
That is that's the thing. We make the established joke because that's what happened like the first 2 times in the campaign 100 sessions ago. But since then, it's happened maybe like 5 or 6 times throughout the entire course of the campaign, and like twice it was like Ezra. Once it was like Matashai, I think, and then the other times it's been enemies. What the effect, though, the bigger effect is the loss in the action economy, and that's what hurts worse typically. Is Ash's not being able to go full yeah, he gets one attack on something, and then you lose the rest of that DPS. And when you guys are a DPS check group, right, losing a entire character's turn generally is like a bit of an issue sometimes.
You know what I think would actually be kind of cooler? And I'm willing to spitball this, right? Like, just an idea.
You're willing to spitball this? Willing?
Sure,
to
I'm not
it's
saying.
Like, I'm not going to
saying
say you have to do this. I'm willing to spitball it. But...
No, well, I'm sorry. I was trying to clarify.
I know.
Like, I don't think this is the end all be all of solutions.
I'm messing with you.
What would be kind of cool is like when he gets hit at when he's raging, like when he's got his all wolf form up. He's got to make a check, or else he uses reaction to hit something near him.
So, I've already got some.
Punishing.
I've been thinking about this for a while.
It is punishing.
I've got some ideas.
His wolf form has a lot of benefits.
It has less benefits than you think. It does have a lot of.
Before I can even like do any kind of like my normal damage.
No.
I
That's
have to
not
spend the first turn with a bonus action.
That's
the
kind of
second turn with a bonus action. Then my
Yes.
third turn, I can use.
Oh
the
no,
bonus
your
action.
bonuses? Oh no.
Okay, yes, but that's ramping up. It doesn't. That's not to say that you're not doing anything. Until then,
Yeah,
you're just
I'm
not
still
doing your
doing
maximum.
damage, sure,
that's it.
but
That's
it's
kind of
big.
irrelevant.
Doing a
The
lot
thing
of
is,
damage.
so here's the core scenario. Yes, he is doing a lot of damage, but the issue in the past has been doing a lot of damage and surviving a lot of damage. But that is happening less and less in this day and age because more and more things have magical attacks, which completely nullify his ability to absorb damage. So it's like he's losing that entire aspect of the class. The harder things get, that's just gone. You know?
Yeah, I think it is like at this point, it's rare to run across something that doesn't hit magically.
Rare to run
Or
across
like a
something that doesn't
+1
hit
or whatever.
magically that is super threatening, right? Like,
Mhm.
you know. But yeah. Regardless, I have what I think are going to be interesting and semi-interactive ideas about the concept that I think you're potentially going to enjoy and will make it feel like a relevant thing. So I got some ideas to talk about. So
I am open to negotiation.
you'll fucking deal with it.
He fails,
Making it
he
go
fails
like
the
it.
check. He can move however far it is to close distance with Ezra, and he gets his full.
Yeah,
slew
that's
of
exact.
attacks.
Actually, that is the exact thing. It's
I
every single
approve that
time.
action.
Anyways,
It's
Loretta.
called Storm Sorcerer's Bane.
There.
Precisely.
Very
Good.
specific there, Mitch.
Well, don't. There's a lot of good evidence for bad blood between werewolves and storm sorcerers. Don't you know?
Very, like,
It's sure
specifically.
it's very well known.
Right,
Jeremy,
it is.
I
It
would
really
create-
is because the werewolves be all like, "Oh yeah, we're prepping for the uprising. It's gonna be tomorrow night." And the
Then
storm sorcerers
storms
come
come
across.
in.
Yeah, the storm sorcerers come across, and they're all like, "Oh shit, we're doing our party tonight. Storm. It's all cloudy." And the werewolves are like, "What the fuck, yo?"
Jeremy,
It's a-
I would
it's a
like
thing.
to always keep some powdered silver in my pocket.
Wow.
Why?
Wow.
Damn.
Are you gonna like? Are you gonna rub it on yourself for when he bites you?
Pocket silver?
Pocket silver.
What was that comic where like it's like a paladin? I can't remember what this comic was, but I really thought it was clever. It's like a paladin who comes to a town where it's like he's got to fight some lycans, but there's no silver weapon. It's like he runs up to a shop and he's like, give
It was
me
a webcomic. It's the
Yeah.
Necromancer. The fuck, I know which one you're talking about. It's like a. He's not a necromancer, but he works with necromancer. He's like a paladin though, and he's like a sock full of silver. He just beats the
that's
fuck out of people.
what it is. Is he
Yeah.
walks up to a shopkeep and he's like, give me all your silver. So he puts it in a sock to go beat the fuck out of a werewolf.
Yeah, I remember that comic. Yeah, absolutely.
I think I posted that to you. Guys.
Maybe, but
Because like when I found it, I was like, this is
can
goddamn
you
ashes.
imagine taking on a werewolf that's sock full of silver coins?
Look, man, you got nothing else. Fuck it.
That is commitment.
Though I don't know that I'd use a sock. I'd use like like what oranges come in.
The nets.
Just like a
I mean,
mesh
yeah,
bag?
it's
Like
a
a little-
it's a medieval setting, Mitch. They don't exactly
yeah,
have plastics.
I don't give a fuck. That's what I would use.
honestly, if I think I was in that situation, I think what I would do is maybe like a sling and sling silver coins.
Throw them at them.
Like
to not have to get close.
You know what I would do? Is I would like
close. It's just
I'll
I
try
feel
to
like
punch
that's the
a hole
best
through all of them
delivery.
and make some silver knuckle ducksters.
I think is if I'm using silver coins as an attack, I think a sling would be the best delivery to get coins into an enemy with the most velocity.
Dude, how cool would you feel fucking uppercutting a lycanthrope?
Crying apples it is.
That was such a
It's
weird
fucking-
exchange. My God.
I've given up on following the story.
I'm sorry. Like, you guys need to, if you have not been able to pay attention, you do need to go back through and play on single player again, because there's some clever shit in this fucking game. There really is.
There really is. Yeah.
Like, my God.
I do not doubt it. I mean, Gearbox is always.
I love playing these games together, but there's definitely shit we missed by doing so.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's the alcohol, man. Once it gets in there,
it's combination alcohol, but it's also combination just getting into the conversation.
Solo, if I have a couple of drinks, like I'm gonna miss some stuff, but like,
sure.
Generally, things will always hit differently playing with people versus alone.
Oh, we gotta ground slam them.
The Cyclopses really disturb me. The way they have just an eyeball for a head.
I love it.
It disturbs me.
So I don't think we're gonna beat the game today.
I need help. I'm on the ground.
I see that.
Thank you. I don't think that one was a barrel. At least I didn't see the barrel. I think I just got hit.
You want to die talking some made-up words at me?
Okay. Googly tubers. Got it.
Damn. Tina was about to murder someone, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely. Brett keeps correcting her, so she's going off the deep end.
Rachel just disappear into your Borderlands 2 closet?
Did she?
No, she straight up walked out, went in there, and disappeared.
I'm just watching that fucking door.
Jay doesn't want to get on it because he got pants on.
She did! She went in there! She fucking went in there! Good spot, Mitch. Good spot.
I saw her sneak in there and close the door behind her. I wouldn't have thought anything about it until she closed the door behind her.
Yeah.
The look on your face. Back in business.
Ba, 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 ba.
We have to find a googly tuber. Oh, we found it. Okay.
Love. It is time for love.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Jake, I want to go golfing soon. Do you want to drive me around in a cart?
Add the ingredients. Now the potion
I feel you there.
must do.
He's gonna want to go at like 6 in the morning.
Why would I ever want to do that?
I don't know, because isn't that what golf people do?
No.
What?
Ever.
Yeah, I'm doing metaphors now.
Who the fuck? Who hurt you?
Mama's
That's a very long list. I don't think we have time to get into.
I mean, we can knock off a couple.
This would be like a noon scenario, and like I'll have beers in the bag.
I mean, the next couple of weeks are pretty crazy.
Yeah, they are.
Are you all just ready for this to be over? Like, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also just ready.
Question?
I'm
Are
also
you honestly asking me that question?
No, well, I wasn't really asking you. I was asking Jay and Jake. Truth be told, I assume I know the answer for you.
We're talking the wedding and everything.
I am excited for the end goal.
Right.
But damn, am I done with everything coming up?
Yeah.
Here you go, Mitch. I don't know if this is a good spell for you, but
Ready
it is
for
spell.
Done.
So
I mean,
dropping
I'm
it on the
excited for
rail.
you guys to be up here for a while and all that shit.
Oh my
but-
god, I'm such a hermit. The idea of leaving my home for like a week and a half is fucking terrifying. It's a lot of dragons in the air. It's like fucking dragon.
Dragons? What? What?
Or wyverns. Sorry. Do wyverns count as dragons?
Did Tina just imply that she and Moxie have a thing?
She's trying to get with
highly
Moxie.
doubt that Tina's underaged version and Moxie have a thing going.
There was something
I mean, maybe Tina's finding herself.
being discussed there.
You think Mox secretly wants to be Moxie?
Yes.
I think
What?
I think Mox is already Moxie. All the letters
Already
are there.
achieved it. That's true.
Mox is just swapping where the I is.
It's just Mox Eye.
It's just Mox I.
You're right. Damn.
We're on the right quest.
No. Because we finished that quest. New quest, who dis? Gotta talk to Sully.
I will say I'm always interested to hear.
Let's follow me actually. Before we do
how
that, let's go this way.
A user come across as their username, like a handle that they've used for a very long time.
Sorry, say that one more time. I was not.
I'm
paying
always
very good attention.
curious to hear about how somebody who has used the same handle online for a long time came across that name.
You know what? Let's share. How did everyone come across their names?
Yeah, I'll bite.
So mine. So initially it came from the movie Boondock Saints. It originates from a pair of brothers who go on this killing spree against villains.
Two movies actually.
Yeah. And one has Veritas, which is truth in Latin, tattooed on his fingers, and the other has Equitas, justice in Latin, tattooed on his fingers. And I strongly enjoy the idea of justice, and that's sat pretty strongly with me. So I adopted it as a gamer tag.
So what's the greater good in Latin?
I was gonna say it's a wonderful story about two brothers taking the greater good into their own hands.
No, it has nothing to do with greater good. It has with local good.
It has everything to do with justice and not the concept.
It's local good. It's
I said just
their approach.
Just justice and not a greater or lesser good or anything. Because there's a lot that they do that is not good, period. It's just just in their eyes. So yeah, that's just trolling. Absolutely.
Justice can be viewed in many different ways. The greater good is a fucking fallacy.
I think that the greater good is often used as a crutch, but I do not always think that it is a fallacy. There are instances
I don't know
where
that I agree with crutch. I would call it a excuse.
Yeah, well, that's a crutch, right? It's used. People use it as a crutch or an excuse, right? To excuse.
A crutch means it stands up something. It actually holds up.
Yeah,
in
it
some
holds
way.
up certain interactions or actions or belief systems.
An excuse doesn't.
Well, okay, so I guess maybe that's the differentiation, because I do think there are times where greater good can be a crutch to hold something up. Like in the situation of like, so okay, I think a good example is Last of Us, right? The idea of Ellie dying for the greater good.
Spoilers. What is the greater good?
The humanity defeating the virus, right? That
is there's a hypothetical. There's an assumption that this set thing will make everything better. And
there's no assumption. Ellie has the cure.
They pretty firmly state that I get where you're going, and I understand your hesitancy, but they pretty firmly state that if this thing were to happen, it would likely lead to a cure, or something akin to it, right?
Sure.
Regardless, and again, I get it's a difficult subject for you, right? But so I think that's a fascinating.
It's not a subject that I can't talk about. It's a subject that I think is so fucking overdone and like beat into the ground to the point where people do not think in a way that makes singular life matter. No one cares about singular life anymore. No one cares about individuals.
They
care about how many lives can I save.
I feel like that's almost counterintuitive to the way in which most humans operate in today's day and age.
As long as it's their life, though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not just their lives. It's their lives or the lives of the people they love and care about, not anyone else, right? It doesn't matter if you have a family. It matters my family matters, not your family. Fuck your family. I don't know them. They're not me, right? Like... Yeah. Exactly. But it is a very individualistic concept of justice and fairness and idealism, whereas the greater good is kind of the opposite of that. So I find your idea interesting.
The problem with greater good is that there's always this assumption that more lives means someone can and should die. That's wrong.
That's the common trope, right? Like the common trope is the idea of killing one to save many, or sacrificing a few for everyone, right?
I think my biggest problem isn't that one or the other is right. It's my problem with that the acceptance of the scenario is acceptable.
Sure. I
refuse to accept that scenario. I refuse to accept that there is two options, and that is the only options available to anyone.
So if you take and
I understand that mine is not the logical or the whatever answer you want to give, but I refuse to accept that these scenarios there are two options and those are the only two.
Well,
options.
it's all so highly variable.
That at least it's in like if you take Gurren Lagann, right? Rossiu's decision to leaving the planet, forsaking everybody else, at risk of the Ark ever being able to leave the planet at all, right? Like, majority of the planet will die, but you're trying to save these few people so that humanity can live on, right? That's a hard decision to make, right?
Absolutely. It's absolutely a hard decision, but you're also accepting that the planet is going to die. Like, you're accepting that this is going to happen and there's nothing you can do about it.
So that's the thing where things get highly variable, right? And it's always hypothetical, because there are absolutely certain situations where things are a surety and you have a choice between X or Y. And then there are other situations where no, the choice between X and Y is not black and white. There are multitudes of shades of grays and other opportunities across the board. So I get the concept, because generally in media, the idea of the you know, of the greater good decision, or the exact opposite, the Kobayashi Maru, right? Like the changing the parameters of the test, right? Like those two are the those are the prime concepts of either do the big sacrifice or the make it not happen. Those are the things that you see in media. You very rarely see the in-between options, right? But regardless, I get your distaste for it. I just do think that there are situations where greater good is a legitimate thing, and there are situations where greater good shouldn't be the considered thing. It's not black or white. There are shades of gray on all sides.
And here is where I will die on my hill. I would rather everyone die and me fuck up trying to fix a situation where those are the only two options.
Absolutely not.
I would rather everyone die.
Nope. Every situation needs to be analyzed on its own merit and practical application applied.
But I am more happy with being wrong in an attempt to not have that scenario.
You would rather
happen.
blow everyone up than
without a doubt. There are zero doubts in my mind. I would have no regrets going to the grave.
You would rather blow... Well, no, not you go to the grave. You would rather...
I would rather everyone die than make the decision that some people get to live.
Oh shit, I died.
I don't get to make that decision. That is not my choice.
Including in whether or not you... So... The scenario is
let it all burn.
No. I'm saying,
no regrets.
If you have a choice, right, you're gonna live. You're alive. You're not in danger.
Oh no, I'm gonna end my life if I'm responsible.
Are you just gonna kill yourself afterwards?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Dear Lord.
I'm fucking done with that shit.
Wow.
Basically, Jeremy, it can be summed up.
Look, I don't get to decide someone else's life and then say I get to keep living.
Sometimes it's okay. I get the sentiment.
Touch the water.
I get the sentiment, but throughout existence, sometimes that is the decision that is presented to people, where they have to make life or death decisions of other people's lives, and they're not infallible, right?
Correct. And they should own their decisions.
But owning their decisions doesn't necessarily mean they need to kill themselves afterwards.
Should mean death.
No!
Absolutely. Absolutely should.
I mean, there's...
Why should you get to decide someone else's life, but yours is infallible and cannot be taken away?
Okay, but there's a difference between yours being infallible and taking away, and you being unable to accept...
Why is yours more important than the
I
person
did not
who's
say
losing
that.
theirs?
I did not say that, Mitch. I said there's a difference.
That's kind of what you're
you will not let me finish my fucking statement. I said there's
you keep fucking rounding your way around it.
There is a difference between a greater good scenario and killing yourself because a life died because of you.
No, the difference is you asked what I would do after I made that decision. That doesn't tie into the initial greater good decision.
But then you said everyone placed in that.
I made that decision.
And then you said everyone placed in that
situation affects it.
And then you said everyone placed in that situation should kill themselves because they don't have the right to live afterwards. That's what you said.
What I would do, and yes, I said that's what I would do.
No, you said that's what you should do, and then you said everyone else should also do that.
I said I don't understand how anyone doing that could think otherwise, but yes.
Sure. Fine, fair enough. Anyways, the whole point of this conversation...
Where did the Distant Horizon come from, Jeremy?
No. Let's talk about where Lantis came from. Yours is actually really easy.
Oh, my username? Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, yours is actually really, really easy.
Mine is the least interesting.
I don't know that it's uninteresting, it's just very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna?
You're not gonna tell it,
was
or
that my cue?
Yeah, that was your cue.
So back,
Wow.
back in the dawning of the internet, before I had any accounts in anything whatsoever, me and a buddy of mine, Brad, decided that our usernames were going to be characters from an anime, Magic Knight Rayearth, which turns out is pretty shit in retrospect. Like, look, when we were young chitlins, right? We took any anime we can get our. Oh, am I gonna fucking die?
Don't touch the water. You gotta run. You gotta run.
Died.
It's a thing.
And he was a big fan, and still is a big fan of MKR, but I am not. But he was like, "All right, I want to be Eagle from MKR, and you should be Lantis from MKR." And I was like, "All right," and it just stuck. The O2 came from, that's the year I graduated high school, just to date myself a little bit.
Oh, you're old as shit.
Yeah,
I feel you.
It is. But yeah, so my username is literally a character I don't care about from an anime I don't even like.
Nice. Oh fuck. Just gotta hit us with that real stick over here.
All right, Jake, shoot.
Who's Craven?
Why and why are they simply?
Why are they simply?
What the fuck, guys?
So I went through a lot of gamer tags when I was younger because I could never really find something that stuck.
I had two
And
ever.
yeah, I had more than that.
I'm on two.
And
I still think
then
it's my second the other time. But
I saw Underworld.
Mm-hmm,
Fantastic movie.
Great.
One of the villains, his name is Craven. Spelt in the English version of the word, which means coward, which is kind of denotative of his character flaw. Obviously, that's not the best of, things to idealize. And I thought about the word of having a craving.
Simply craving.
So that's kind of where that came from. Craven was my gamer tag for, later half of high school through college. And it wasn't until later in my life when, I don't know if I just used it in enough places, but the number of times that I could get Craven as a gamer tag in any fucking game ever
went down. Went down quick, didn't it?
I would imagine
very quickly.
I would imagine that would be kind of hard because, Master Hunter Craven from Marvel is kind of...
Yeah, there's actually like a lot of Craven's used across a lot of mediums.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So eventually I was like, all right, I need to do something. And I just theory crafted.
He's simply Craven.
Theory crafted, and eventually I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make this simple.
Made it simple.
Hell yeah.
Hey, that's more creative than the O2 that I have to tag on. Because, by the way, Lantis might be a character from an anime, but Lantis is also a recording studio. It's also a car manufacturer. It's also like some other shit, like in Japan, like it's a pretty common name. So I have rarely ever been able to just take Lantis as something.
Yep.
Aww.
Like, I was just happy I got it as a WoW character at one point in time. I felt like that was a win.
For the rest of that poem, simply walk your little leggy legs to the tavern.
My Steam one has long been Gungrave. I forgot that I had that one before Aequitas, and that has not changed forever.
Yeah, the Gungrave has been around for a very long time. So I will lead with Both of mine are a little more involved than they probably need to be, so I will lead with the one that is not this one, and is the one that most people that I know now met me by, and that is the Kajak or Kajak Falcon one. So Kajak is like the character or personality trait or whatever that I made for myself in actually that was in middle school, and then
that's the one I met you with.
Yeah, that name became became a lot of different things in my life. It became like a writing alias. It became the main character of a lot of stories that I wrote. It became like a self-insert for video games and role-playing, etc., etc. But it was also, and this is super duper embarrassing, but I'm gonna say it online anyways in permanent record.
Own it.
Kajak comes from it stands for something. It is what is that? An anagram or whatever?
Acronym.
Is it an acronym?
Do each
All-
letter
if all
reference
three words
word.
Does
mean
each letter
Yes,
mean
yeah,
something?
Yeah. Each letter,
Okay.
yeah, acronym then.
Acronym.
So it stands for Kirby and Jeremy and Kirby, because of the two crushes that I had on two girls named Kirby.
wow.
Which
You
is
knew
just
women named Kirby?
yeah,
You two women named Kirby?
two. Right?
What kind
So-
of fucking life do you live?
So it was just so that's just a horrendous thing. So that fortunately that portion of the name came to mean significantly less very rapidly. But it was the Falcon part added on afterwards that came to kind of like tie it together, because
Also,
that
just to throw out, it's not Falcon like
it's Falcon, F-A-U-C-O-N, which is fancy. It's the French version of Falcon. Yeah. So
It's not Falcon, it's Falcon.
yeah, right. So that was added on later after the entirety of it became more of an actual idolized concept of a character rather than a middle school crush, right? So
You knew two Kirby's?
Yeah.
And by middle school?
Yeah.
Like their actual name was Kirby, or is that their like nickname?
No, actual
last
name's
name.
Kirby's. Yeah.
There's only one Kirby, and he's
K-I-R-B-Y.
a pink fluffy little piece of shit.
Grew up with two. Yes.
That's crazy, man.
Anyways, in a very small school too, like a small school, not a less than 100 people in our graduating class, right? Like
Wow.
was
Pretty
not a
big
black.
wow. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
legitimately.
That's like the statistics on that have got to be insane.
It's weird. It's absolutely weird. Anyways, so Kajak Falcon came from middle school crush evolving into using for everything, involving into creating an actual character, creating stories, writing stories, and becoming an online persona. Okay? And I've used that for not years, decades, right? Like, that has been my tag for
I was going to say, you have used that
ever.
for 16 years that I've known you.
Minimum.
I
Minimum.
created that when I was 13. I am 34.
Two Kirby.
I love that this is the takeaway, is the just
Two Kirby's.
mind-blowing nature of the two Kirby's.
Well, okay, hold on. No, time. I think what's mind-blowing is that I can stand alone here. I'm perfectly fine standing alone here. I've never heard that. In all the years I've known you, I've never heard that.
It's an embarrassing as fuck story to know that the gamer tag that you created for yourself when you were 13 was off of teenage unrequited love. Right? Like, absolutely, that is incredibly embarrassing. So no, I don't go just touting it to the world.
That's
generally.
fair.
But
I think it's super interesting though. Like,
well, that's the reason why I'm willing to talk about it, because I do think it is an interesting story, right? And this is like glossing over so much different stuff that has happened with the name and the evolution of the character and the things involved, etc., etc. This is like the fucking Cliff Notes version, but yeah. Anyway,
LZR.
Exactly. So, and to kind of like wrap things up, the tag that I currently use, the Distant Horizon, is actually kind of a evolution of that first tag, because the Distant Horizon is the first story.
Are the Kirby's the Horizon?
No, they are not. No,
What?
no, they are not. But the Distant Horizon is the name of the first story of that character.
Okay.
They're the distant.
But it's just like, so I started writing for that character when I was 13, and that was the working title when I was 13. That has not changed. That has been a constant in my life, right? Like Distant Horizon has been a thing for
Is the main character
decades.
Kajak?
Yeah,
Or
the
is
main
it
character
Kajak?
in that story is Kajak. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And the whole premise of the Distant Horizon is a very silly, cliche, kludgy kind of
Hey
thing.
man, it's your first story. It's not gonna be perfect.
It's like the main story is this group of people gets driven away from this island nation that they live upon. And as they are sailing across the ocean to the mainland to seek refuge, there is a scene in the story where two of the main characters, Kajak and another of the characters, are on the bow of the ship
Kirby?
talking. No, not Kirby. Different unrequited love. replaced with a different unrequited love. No. And the scene ends with basically the statement of it's gonna be okay because we'll find our future. It's out there just beyond the distant horizon. And that's the like boom title, etc. Right?
That's
like
when you heal the title.
Out of curiosity, Jeremy, were you heavily influenced by the Earthsea series?
I wouldn't say heavily influenced by the Earthsea series. I am familiar with the Earthsea series, and I enjoyed it as a kid. But it wasn't like I read every single one of them and I was super like impacted by it. It was something that I read as a kid, and then kind of moved on.
Fair enough.
So like that first one, like Wizard of Earthsea, I think was probably the most impactful for me. It's just the one that I have read the most times.
I really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I thought they were very interesting stories.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, anyways, that is the more embarrassing concept of where my shit comes from.
Not embarrassing. Are you kidding me? Also, there's only one person that I know in real life, don't personally know him, by the way, whose name is Kirby, and that's Jack Kirby, who was the lawyer for Nintendo whenever
Kirby is made after.
No. Whenever Paramount sued Nintendo for Donkey Kong being too similar to King Kong, it was Jack Kirby that won the case for fair use or whatever, right? And it was speculated that Jack Kirby was the reason why Kirby got his name from, when Hal first together. But that wasn't true.
Did you ever watch that documentary on Netflix I told you about? Is like High Score, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. They talk about that whole thing.
Cheater. He's a cheater.
All
Goddamn
right.
cheating.
Anyways,
yeah.
At this point, we digress, and we're just standing here, basically, because
Is this the end of the game?
this is very clearly the end of the game. We are not going to be around next Friday. I will be, unfortunately, out of town. I got some
And we didn't even
family
make it to
stuff
the
to
end.
do. So we are going to be skipping
You guys
next
walk up to
Friday.
it?
But we will be back the next Friday, the following Friday, which I believe will probably be the exciting conclusion of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands adventures.
And then I get married.
And then Mitch gets married. And and then we're gonna be gone for 2 weeks because Mitch is getting married. So yeah. Anyways,
And then you'll never see me again. I don't get to play video games
Come
anymore.
up here. Walk.
What?
Finally get rid of him.
Angle.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the stream. Jay and I will be back tomorrow for some more Tales of Destiny Director's Cut. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.